What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 5 of the Raw Footage Podcast. As you know, I'm your host, Marcus, here on our Shot 'em 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel. I greatly appreciate everybody who is tuning in for this episode of the podcast. We are going to be talking about Scream 7. I'm going to be answering you guys' questions and theories, and we are also going to be revisiting the second featurette that came out over the last couple days that I wasn't able to cover yet, as well as some other promotional marketing that has been released for Scream 7. So if you haven't done so already, please shoot this stream, this episode, a like, as well as hit the hype button on this stream as well. It helps out with the YouTube algorithm, helps get this video and this stream noticed. And as well as if you happen to be a new viewer here of this channel and of this podcast, be sure to shoot the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you get all the latest content updates here to the channel. I see a few of you guys already here. We have 13 people, 14 people here showing up so far. Greatly appreciate it. If you guys haven't done so already, shoot the like button as well as the hype button, and I will do a blanket hello, get through everybody here in the chat so we can catch up. Oh no, don't do that. What's going on, Shannon? Talking Star Wars in the chat, saying about to get an early dinner in a few minutes. I'll be back for the stream, but Ric Flair elbow drop the like button, subscribe to Ghosty or else, and you're fired, and shoot the hype button after this podcast. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Shannon. I greatly appreciate it. Oh, there's something else I want to mention as well. I did post it the other day on the channel. I forgot to upload it here as part of the media assets. But if you guys are interested, I do have new merch put up. I have 2 new shirts put up for Scream 7. One in particular is for our good friend Craven Something Scary, who recently passed over, the last few months. And basically the money that is going to be raised for that shirt being sold is going to go to his family. So if you guys are interested, Shannon, if you can do me a favor, if you can go to my channel and drop my Shopify link so that everybody here in the chat who hasn't seen it yet, so that they can click on that link and check out the shirt and see if they're interested. And again, every dollar that is made off of that shirt is going to go towards Steven's family. So it would be greatly appreciated if you show support and buy the shirt. It's a sick design that I made for it as well. And I also have another shirt on the store as well, a Burn It Down shirt that has like Stu Macher's Burning House in the background with a bunch of ghost faces in it. So again, Shannon, if you can, drop my Shopify link in the comment section so everyone can go check that out. What's up, King Matthew? Saying, what's up, Marcus? How are you doing today? And guys, if I'm lagging a little bit, I apologize. I have my green screen up, so I'm just going to try to get through it as best as I can. It seems like everything is okay, but if I am going through a little lag, just feel free to let me know in the comment section. But King Matthew saying, what's up, Marcus? How are you doing today? Unfortunately, I won't be able to join the stream as I will be at work. Hey, man, it's all good. As long as you're just here stopping in to say a comment and say what's up, I greatly appreciate it, buddy, and I hope you have a great day at work. King Matthew also saying, but my theory for Scream 7 is that maybe Anna Camp's character is related to Kirby. Oh, that's interesting. From Scream 4, because to me, Anna Camp looks more similar to Hayden, so I don't think she is Stu's sister. I can see where you would say that. I mean, unless they're like going to reveal her as somebody who is close to Kirby, maybe a family member. I don't know. I can see why you would say that, though, because she does kind of favor Hayden Panettiere a little bit. It look like they could be related, but I don't know, man. That's interesting, though. It's not a bad idea to have, especially if Anna Camp's character is like a true friend to Sydney and isn't trying to kill her and maybe has some connections to Woodsboro from somebody else. It's possible. And as I posted earlier, everyone, I will try to do my best to keep up with the chat, make sure nothing is getting leaked or spoiled. But anyone who is new here, please no leaks or spoilers in the chat or you will be removed. I don't want to have to do that, but I don't want any leaks or spoilers. A lot of the stuff that I talk about here in my videos and here on the channel is basically theory speculated. So I don't want to know anything, especially if people have went out to see a test screening and know certain things about the movie or have specific, concrete, indisputable inside information, I don't want to know anything about it. I don't want to know anything about it. We want to go into this film speculating and going into it completely blind. Even though, again, we talk about theories and we break down stuff here on this channel and in these videos talking about Scream, nothing is ever too spoily. And if it is a little bit too spoily, I make sure I give a warning to everybody. So it's greatly appreciated. Shannon saying, you know me, I have a bunch of theories. I'll be here in the chat. So if I see something like who the killer is or anything, I'll message you on Instagram if you want go see. Yeah, absolutely. And the reason why I'm probably lagging, because I do feel like I'm lagging a little bit, is because I had an extra tab open. So now hopefully that clears up. But I might have to end up being a little laggy again anyway, because I do have to open my Instagram. Just in case. So people can message me and let me know if people are trying to spoil anything. But for the most part, here over the first 4 episodes, we have done a good job of not having that issue. So keep my messages tab open. Yo, what's up? Glad to see you here, man. Saying I'm so confused yet so excited. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling the same way, man. I have some ideas coming out in videos in regards to what I've been seeing in these trailers. But yeah, they're definitely giving us some misdirection. And guys, if I am being a little too laggy and it's too distracting, let me know and I'll just take the green screen off. I don't want you guys to be watching a show that's kind of like hard to watch. And that's another thing too I'm going to talk about here at the top of this episode, because I know there has been some news that was actually released earlier that I saw in regards to Scream 7 is actually like the Scream franchise, or I guess Spyglass, the studio, whoever owns the rights, they're going into legal battle with the people who claim they originally created the Ghostface mask. And I read into it, and I find it quite interesting that they're now making a big hoopla about it. I don't think they're going to win that battle. I mean, you literally took almost 30 years to say, hey, I'm the one who created it, and now I want reimbursed. So I don't know. I kind of feel like that's something. I mean, granted, they could have looked at it as, oh, we didn't think it would be as big as it became. But then again, this movie is 7 films in now. You had 6 other films to make a hoopla about this, and you chose not to. So very interesting piece of news that come out earlier today in regards to Scream 7. And the way I look at it, I don't think it's going to be too hard of a case for the higher-ups who own this movie to beat. I think they're going to win that case pretty handily. But that's just my opinion. But saying my local theater just released tickets for early screening Scream 7 February 13th. Holy shit. So you're getting it basically 2 weeks before the movie comes out. You're getting it next week. Wow, you're getting it right before Valentine's Day. That's what's up. He's saying, I'm so confused because I can't find anywhere on the internet about such early screenings. Yeah, I think I heard somebody say that there's something like that going on, like here in the U.S., but I can't recall 100%. Maybe there is. I know we get a early screening here the day before it actually releases, like on a Thursday, but that's like common for big movies. So yeah, I don't know anything about here in the US having early screenings where it's releasing 2 weeks before the actual release. Interesting stuff. And I am going to be starting a super chat goal here in a second, guys. We have 31 people here, and I will let you guys know what the perks of that super chat goal is. I think you guys will be really interested in it. And yeah, I'm excited to put it up because it's just something that I came up with on the fly here before I started. And I was like, maybe they'll be interested in this. So just give me a second and I'll get the super chat goal up in a second. Shannon's saying, what if Ghostface isn't an actual person, like it's a myth, sort of like an urban legend? That's one question for you, Ghosty. I swear to you, Shannon, if they fucking make this movie into what urban legend Bloody Mary is, I don't think I can turn back for Scream 8. I don't think I could watch Scream 8 if they do some shit like that. And I obviously don't think they're going to do that. But if they were to, I think a lot of the fan base would tune out. Like, that'd be nuts. So I don't know. I personally wouldn't like that. I do see we have a super chat as well as a member chat here. So I'm going to get to these here right now. My Chunky Jordy, member for 32 months. Holy shit. That's about, going almost 3 years. Wow. Thank you so much, Gina. Thank you so much for your loyalty through all the ups and downs. It's greatly appreciated. Saying Ziggy says, send the like button, some love, Pete. Yep, that's right. Thank you so much for that, Gina. Absolutely. And Oreo, Don, and Rosie tells Ziggy what's up and sends their love. Thank you so much for that, Gina. I can't believe it's already been that long. And speaking of memberships and stuff like that, I am going to be doing some membership only content here very, very soon. So members, stay tuned for that. Keep an eye out for notifications and posts, because I do have some stuff coming up here for you guys as well. And I am probably going to end up changing some things around in regards to the memberships. I'm most likely just going to go to one tier that is probably going to be like $5 a month, because it's just easier to just do one tier and just have everything like conjoined together instead of having to worry about this tier and that tier. That's why I changed it down a while ago to what I have now. But even trying to do 2 tiers is just, it's a lot of work to put in. And I'd rather just have one, so everybody is just in one section and I can give you guys a specific set amount of perks so that everybody is able to join in on the membership stuff together. So stay tuned for that as well. But we do have a super chat here in the house. Talk Scream coming in with 50 DKKs. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you, man. Saying, bro, if it's not the movie, I'm getting a refund. If it is an actual early screening, I'll have to keep quiet for 13 days. Yeah, man, that's going to be tough to do. That is going to be so tough to do. I will say this, though. I find it interesting. All right, so if they do this early screening, right, I do wonder if the ending of the movie is going to be the same as the actual theatrical release. That's something I always wonder with these early screenings, because I know with test screenings, the endings and certain scenes are different. So I wonder with the early screening if it's going to be the actual final cut of the movie, or are they going to give people 99% of the actual cut, with that 1% being a change in the ending or maybe a cliffhanger or something like that. So that's what's up though, man. Like, if it's the actual final cut that comes out on the 27th, yeah, it's going to be difficult keeping quiet for 13 days, bro. That's a whole 2 weeks. So, man, that's crazy. That's what's up though, that you guys get it a little bit early. All right, so I am going to check my Instagram messages just to make sure everything's square over here. Make sure nobody's spoiling anything. Okay, I don't see anything from Shannon so far, so I think we're pretty good. And give me a quick second, because I am about to whip up this super chat goal. And then I'm going to get back to you guys' questions. And then eventually here, I am going to pull up some footage and share my opinion with you guys, because I haven't talked about the second featurette yet, and I haven't discussed my thoughts on the Ice Nine Kills promo video that we got, as well as I think there was another TV spot that I wasn't able to cover since I've been at work the last few days. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, so I'm going to mute my mic real quick because I don't want no. Okay, so waiting for this to pull up. All right, we should be good now. All right, yep, there we go. Okay, so the goal is up, you guys. So anybody who sends a super chat in, already sent one. So basically the goal is 15 super chats. And basically what will happen is if you send a super chat in, you get to pick a movie that either I will review, do a live reaction to, or basically we'll do a watch party on that is outside of Scream. Any movie that is outside of Scream that we haven't discussed here on the channel or that I may have not seen yet that you might think I would be interested in or that you yourself would want me to see, that's what you guys would get if we hit the goal or whatnot. Where anybody who does send in a super chat, they're going to have their movie added regardless. But if we hit that goal, then basically all 15 people who send in a super chat, that will be basically 15 movie selections that I will put on a wheel. And then basically how we'll do this is we'll spin the wheel. One will get picked, but everybody who's sending the super chat with their movies will stay on the wheel. And then every week we'll spin the wheel, see what it lands on. And then whoever sent in the super chat and whatever movie you picked, you get to decide whether I do a review, a live reaction to which I will basically record myself watching the movie and giving you guys my live reaction to that movie, or we can do a live watch party. So it's up to you guys. The ball's in your court. If that's not what you want, that's cool. One way or another, we're going to have a great time here today. But I just wanted to throw that out. So again, if we hit the super chat goal, but it doesn't really even matter of hitting the super chat goal per se or whatnot. Whoever sends in a super chat here on this episode of the podcast, pick a movie that you would want me to watch, whether live watch party, a video review, or a live reaction video review, because there is a little bit of a difference. So it's there, guys. It's posted up, and now let's get back to the chat. I am a little bit behind, but I am going to try to get to all of you guys' comments. I know it's already jumped on me. I know we have 32 people here watching, so just bear with me. I am going to try to catch up with you guys' comments as best as I can. Talk Scream saying, yeah, that's what I thought too, but it says early screening February 13th. If I pull up and it's not the movie, I want my money back. Yeah, I agree. That's false advertisement. That's not cool. Not cool at all. What's up, Val? Glad to see you here, General. Thank you for being here as always. I see some of you guys are conversating, so I'll scroll up a little bit. Yo, what's up, Patrol? Glad to see you here, man. Chilling, buddy. Just, happy to be here with you guys to talk about some Scream 7. Answer you guys' questions, listen to you guys' theories, break them down, see what's going on, see what's crack-a-lacking. Joshua Brooks, 16-4-11, saying, I just have a feeling that they don't have the guts to bring back Stu alive because Matthew Lillard has said in interviews he is worried that people will question why he came back to the franchise. So, yeah, we're going to talk about this right here, right now, because I haven't been able to do a video about it like I wanted to. Maybe I'll still get to it here before the movie comes out. But, yeah, Josh, this is something that you brought to my attention before, and I did watch the one interview where I think it was like CBR or something where he's outside talking to the girl. Like she kind of has like, I want to say a bob cut or looks like she kind of has color for hair as well. But the point is that they're talking, they're having a conversation, and that's what Matthew said, that he's worried that fans won't like his return or that they'll find it too cheesy or something like that. But the more interesting thing about that interview, in my opinion, is that he still defended Stu Macher being alive. When she said, oh, yeah, your character's coming back, even though he's super dead. He's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, he defended that. He's like, go get a TV and throw it on my head, and I'll show you I can survive. So he is still very much defending Stu Macher returning. What I think is the issue is that maybe they have brought him back in a way. Let's say that he is alive, right? Maybe he feels the way they're going to present how he is still alive may not hook the audience. And that's very, very possible, especially with somebody who like Matthew, who is he wants fans to like his performances a lot. He wants fans to come out of the movie satisfied with what they paid for. I definitely get those vibes from him. And plus, he's talked about it at conventions about how it's really important for him to, if he's going to do a movie, the script has to resemble what he feels the audience would want to see. And I think, even though he did say in another interview that he just wanted to get back to the Scream franchise so bad, he just wanted to come back, so it didn't really matter how he was brought back, I kind of think that is a little bit of overlay for the underplay a little bit, because I don't think if the story for Stu to come back was compelling enough, he would agree to come back. So I can understand why there's some concern. I have a little bit of that concern too, that maybe they won't have the balls to bring him back alive, But this is something that I was talking to the Bearded Entertainment earlier, my buddy Eric, and this is something that he asked, and it was a really good question. Let's say if they do only use Stu Macher as AI in Scream 7, right? Let's just say Stu is not revealed alive, but he's an AI entity, just a voice or a clip, whatever, right? Does that mean the Stu Macher is alive theory is officially put to bed? And I think that's the question they're going to have to answer in this movie if they do go the AI route. You're going to still have to answer whether Stu Macher is alive or dead. Because even though you're presenting him to us in this movie in AI form, in my opinion, that does not conclusively say that he's dead or alive. Another thing that Eric and me discussed, and this is something that I've been thinking about for a long time in regards to this whole AI angle that they're saying Stu is only going to be. If Stu Macher is going to only be AI, whoever is using him as an AI entity, they would have to have old home videos of him from when he was younger. And even then, it would be a very, very big stretch. They would have to have state-of-the-art technology to be able to pull that type of AI off to where 30 years later, they can alter his voice to make him sound like he would today, to make him look how he would look like today. So, again, I can understand the concern. I have a little bit of it too, but I'm still going to remain optimistic that Stu Macher is going to return alive in this movie. I don't know why. I just have this feeling that they're actually going to finally pull the trigger. Now, the question is if he is revealed alive, how do you pull the trigger? What I mean by that, how do you explain how he's been alive after all these years? And I think that right there is what Matthew is afraid of more than anything else, is the explanation as to how Stumacher survived his injuries and how he was able to be in hiding for so long. So, again, Josh, I mean, it's a valid concern to have, but we're going to remain optimistic over here. Guys, we have 40 people here in the chat. I greatly appreciate you all. If you haven't done so already, shoot the like button, as well as after the stream is over, shoot the hype button on this episode of the podcast. It helps out greatly for the channel. And join the conversation. And please, no leaks or spoilers if you have been one to go see a test screening or anything of that nature. We only do speculative theory here on this channel. King Matthew saying, I'm able to make it for a few minutes at least. LOL, just went on break at work right on time for the stream. Awesome. That's what's up, Matthew. I'm probably missed you by now because this is like 20-something minutes ago. But either way, thank you for being here. Thank you for taking time out of your work time, even your break time. That could be time you're using for yourself or anything else, and you're choosing to stop in here. Yo, what's up, Denisha? Glad to see you here. Hope you're doing well. You guys know at some point Don is going to make his presence known and the other dogs too. I'm going to mute it for a second. All right, we're back. Yo, what's up, Oliver? Glad to see you here, buddy. Hope you're having a great day. Hope every one of you guys is staying warm. It's cold as fuck here in Pennsylvania. Rosie, calm down, baby. It's okay. You hear people every day. And thank you for that, Denisha. Yes, again, we have 39 people here. Guys, hold on. Rosie, calm down. It's okay. Calm down, Don. You too. You guys are being a little reckless right now. But anyway, as I was saying, my apologies. We have people coming into the apartment and stuff, so the dogs are going to bark. But Denisha dropping the Shopify link in the comment section. Thank you so much for that, Denisha. Again, if you guys haven't checked out my Shopify store yet, I have a specific shirt that I am selling. It is in late tribute. It's a tribute to our late friend, Steven from Craving Something Scary. It is a shirt that is going to honor him. If you guys want to show up to the theater wearing that For Steven shirt, it's a specific design, and it's really cool, and I hope you guys like it. And more importantly, all the money that is raised from selling that T-shirt is going to get sent to Steven's family. So, again, guys, if you're interested in buying that, head over to the Shopify store, grab it. There's multiple colors. There's multiple sizes that you guys can choose from, and yeah, show your support. It's greatly appreciated. I also have another Scream 7 related shirt on there as well that I think you guys will really like. I meant to pull it up here on stream, but I was trying to get everything in last minute and just didn't have the time to plug it up here. I am going to scroll up a little bit because I see some of you guys are talking to each other. Hey, what's up? What's up, Jamie? Saying no spoilers. I'm going to ban you. Thank you so much for that, Jamie. Yes, no spoilers, everybody. Greatly appreciate it. And we do have a few more super chats in the house. I am going to get to those. Talking Star Wars coming in with a $2 super chat. Also let me know in the comment section what's your movie pick if you haven't done so already. So Shannon is saying the Bad Seed for her pick. All right. So we got Shannon down. Shannon coming in with a $2 super chat saying the Bad Seed 2018 McKenna Grace is in it. LOL. Okay. Sweet. I got that down, Shannon. Thank you so much for your $2 super chat. Again, to anybody who's just tuning in here, if you send in a super chat, if we hit the 15 super chat goal, even if we exceed it, whoever sends in a super chat, you let me know what movie you guys want to pick outside of Scream that I will either do a live watch party to, a regular breakdown like movie review, or I will do a live or a recorded reaction to watching the entire movie. So, okay, I got you down, Shannon. And then we have another super chat from Shannon, a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Saying, did you ever watch Death Count yet? If not, do it. Yes, I actually did, Shannon. I actually did watch it. It's okay. I do think they could have done a lot more with it. I do feel like it's a little bit of a carbon copy of what Saw was, but it was okay. It was a fun watch, especially if you want to just see a bunch of brutal kills and some nonsense going on. I do feel like the ending was a little underwhelming, but it's not the worst. It's not the worst horror movie in the world. It's still somewhat watchable. And plus, Costas Mandylor is in it, so how can I not watch it? We have another super chat in the house. Talk Scream coming in with 50 DKKs. Thank you again, saying after February the 13th, I'll just be over here for 13 days smiling and giggling while you are talking about who the killers could be. Yeah, right? Hey, you know what I mean? That's the beautiful thing about that whole scenario. You already have the inside scoop. We won't know shit until we actually get to go see it. That's what's up, though, that you're willing to, hold all that in and not ruin anything for anybody else. That's really thoughtful of you. Some people can't do that. Some people aren't capable of doing that. So it's really gracious of you to not spoil it for the rest of us. That's what's up, though, that you get an early screening of that, man. If I find anything out here in my area, I might have to check it out, see if I can get an early screening. I do know I am going to try to make it to, I think it's Scaretacular or some shit like that in Florida. They're having like a massive Scream convention, and Matthew's going to be there. He's going to actually be doing a screening, watching Scream 7 with fans, and as well as Emma Roberts, Hayden Panettiere, and my boy Rory Culkin's going to be there. So I'm definitely trying to make that at the end of the month. I can't promise anything, but yeah. Oliver coming in with a $2 super chat. Saying Saw X for live watch party. All right, so we'll put that on the list. So Oliver, I mean, we watched it a few months ago, but hey, you paid for it, so you're gonna get it again. We'll just figure out when that's gonna happen. So Saw X live watch party. Yeah, and Shannon, let me know if what you want is a live watch party as well. Like, what exactly do you want? I know you want the bad seed, but what do you want? A recorded live reaction to the movie? I shouldn't even say live because it's recorded. So, a recorded reaction to the movie where I watched the whole movie in its entirety and then post it on the channel, a live watch party, or just a regular movie review. Let me know. Okay, so we got you down, Oliver. Let me know in the comment section if you haven't already. What's your movie pick? And then Talking Star Wars coming in with another $2. And again, thank you, Oliver, for your $2. I greatly appreciate you, man. And yeah, there's definitely some Saw stuff I got to catch up on because I've been seeing some shit coming out and I got to talk about it. It's just kind of difficult right now with all the Scream stuff being thrown at us. But Shannon coming in with another $2 super chat saying Paula wants Sinners as a watch party. Okay. Very generous of you, Shannon, for doing that for Paula. So Paula, Sinners live watch. All right. So again, I'm probably behind and you probably already said what movie you wanted. So I'll probably just end up scrolling down here and checking that out. But let me know, what movie you want that's outside of Scream that you want me to either do a live watch party, a recorded reaction where I watch the entire movie and post it on the channel, or just a regular review of that said movie. And yes, thank you again for that, Val, for showing everybody love. Yes, everybody, thank you for supporting the channel. It's greatly, greatly appreciated. And Val, thank you as well for throwing the link to my Shopify store. I know I'm a little bit behind everybody, but I am trying to catch up on everybody's comments. Don't want anybody to feel left out. Sometimes I know when I'm doing these streams or these discussions, sometimes it is hard to get to every chat. And sometimes I know some of you guys might feel a little left out. So I'm not trying to have that here. I'm trying to keep up as best as I possibly can. Yo, what's up, Nightmare Files? If you're still here, saying what's good with it, just chilling, man. Denise is saying, Marcus, I like Urban Legend was a good. They had scary moments. Yeah, Urban Legend's a banger. I'm wondering if they're still gonna do. I'm wondering if they're still gonna do the remake or the reboot. It's interesting. I hope so. And if so, I hope Alicia Witt comes back. Oliver's saying, I think I need to become a member. Member for what exactly? I mean, you could choose to again, Oliver, but are you like saying that because of a specific perk or what? Let me know. At Michael Sicole 2970, what's going on, man? Thank you for being here. Saying, I think Scream 7 should be the first Scream where the killer is no one from the friend group. Ooh, that'd be interesting. I mean, Scream 3 kind of was like that because Roman really wasn't a part of the friend group. He was a character that we obviously saw and they featured, but he wasn't really a part of the main friend group. So I can see them piggybacking off of that again. Maybe Ethan Embry's character. He looks awfully suspicious if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? Yup, that's why I'm also going to go see it on... I'm also going to go see it February 26th. Awesome. So you're going to go see it twice. That's what's up. Most likely I'll do the same thing. Hey, what's up, Gina? That's right. You did send a message in earlier. Sorry. You guys know I'm trying to keep up with everything, so things might even skip out for a second. But glad to see you here, Gina. I'm glad you can make the stream because I know sometimes it's a little difficult with the times that I go live at. All right. I am going to scroll up here a little bit. Hey, my guy. Wayne Turner, 8575. What's going on, Wayne? Glad to see you here, bro. It's been a little bit. I know it's been difficult given the times that I go live, but I'm so glad to see you here right now. Saying hi all. It's 8:32 a.m. Sunday here in Sydney, Australia. Sadly, I can't stay. Hey, it's the fact that you still showed up, Wayne. It's always good to see you, buddy. And thank you for the time report in your area. I always love it when you do that. And Wayne, of course, whenever you can catch up with the stream, drop a comment and let me know what you're thinking, man. Let me know some of your theories and some of your ideas for Scream 7. I do see you have a comment here saying, once I do see Scream 7 early, I will hide for a while. Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, man, I'm going to have to see if we're getting an early screening here around my area. I don't think if we do, I don't think I can wait till the 26th or the 27th to watch it. I'll have to catch it early. I won't say anything if I do. I'll shut down all theories and everything. I'll wait till after the movie's officially released to start talking about it again. If we do have an early screening and I get to go see it. Oh, man. Wayne saying, sadly, got to go too early here. Enjoy all. Thank you again, Wayne. It's good to see you, buddy. I'm going to have to, might have to schedule a later stream so some of our friends across the pond can be in here with us a little bit more consistently. Denisha saying that, if you really paid for the ticket for the early screening, why get a refund if they want you to see the movie? Because it might mess around and not be the actual movie. Sometimes when they drop those early screenings, sometimes they do like surprise screenings to where you don't know what you're getting. So that could be one of those situations too, Denisha. They do that here in the US, which I will never understand why. All right, so I am going to scroll up so I'm not too far behind. At Chances Makes Champions. Oh, I like that name. Saying, I shot him 6 times. I don't know what you mean by that, but thank you. I greatly appreciate it. I hope that means win. That's what I hope that means. Yo, what's up, Pam? Thank you for being here. Always great to see you. Yo, XV Ryan, brother, what's going on, man? I'm going to be getting a hold of you here this upcoming week because we're going to do what we were talking about in regards to streaming. So keep an eye out for your Instagram. And I do want to say here, while you are here, thank you for the kind words in the message the other day, man. I'm greatly appreciative of that. That this channel, was able to help you through some rough times, and that's what this is here for. We all go through shit in life, and it's always good to have great people to kind of help you through that. So I'm glad that I can be one of those people, and this channel can be a platform for you to feel like you can have an escape from some rough shit, So again, man, thank you for always being here, and thank you for the kind words. Trust me, you guys being here supporting this channel helps me in so many ways that you guys can't even imagine. This is why I love doing content. Like, you guys, this is an escape for me, from whatever I'm going through. Trust and believe that. Oh, you already know what time it is. I'll be right back. Oh, what's up? What's up? I'll be right back. Glad to see you. You already know every time you step here in the chat, that's what we are doing. I have to do it. I just have to. I can't help myself. It's like a ritual at this point. Yo, what's up, Rando Geek? Saying hi all. Thank you for being here. Oliver saying, have I been blocked again? Cash won't allow do a super chat. Why would that had to have been way earlier because you did send in a super chat. It is way earlier. So yeah, you should not definitely be blocked, Oliver. I don't know if there's any issues, what's going on, or if just YouTube's being on their shit, but hopefully everything's situated now. I'm assuming it is because you did send in a super chat. Yes, Rando Geek. I did see that. Anyone see the Arby's commercial with David Arquette? Yeah, that was funny. It was good. Dewey faked his death and caught eating a roast beef sandwich. Ha! That'd be nuts. Man, I'm not going to lie. At first, I thought there was a possibility that Dewey could come back, but that was before we got the voiceover in the trailer, and it's like, now that fucking ship has sailed. It's over. I hate it. That was a damn good theory I had for him, too, and they just completely just shit it all over it. It's all right, though. At least we get Dewey in this movie in some shape, way, or form. Yo, what's up, Sean? Sean McClure in the chat saying they are trolling us Stu fans hard. Yeah, aren't they? Yeah. Let's see if they really give us what we want, though. I have a feeling that in some ways, I mean, I don't want to be negative because obviously I want Stu to come back. But I do have a feeling they are going to end up giving us some blue balls. I do. I just don't know why. I hope not. I hope I'm wrong about that, but all this teasing that they're doing, and they might not just give it up. It's possible. All right, so I am going to scroll down here a little bit more. D-Trade22, what's going on? Saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket, though. That's very, very true. Keep everything open-minded. Absolutely. That's why That's why I'm talking about this Gale Weathers theory, y'all. Like, I don't just see Stu Macher as being the past person who's going to be possibly returning as a killer in this movie. I'm looking at Gale Weathers too. I'm looking at other people. Like, you have to have tertiary options to suspect as a killer, especially if you are a Stu truther who believes that Stu is alive and is going to be revealed in this movie, because in case they don't do that, we have to have other tertiary options in case they once again don't give us what we want to see. So, great point there, DT. Appreciate you for being here, brother. Paul is saying anything is possible. That's very true. Rando Geek saying, I think Stu is alive. It's the same with Dexter. Nobody thought they would do it, and they did. The fandom wants Stu back, and so Stu will be back. I want it to be that simple. I want it to be that simple, Rando Geek, and I love your enthusiasm about it. I'm 60-40 that Stu's coming back, but that 40% is glaring to me that he might not. We'll see. Gina saying, gotta love Poochies. Yeah. Especially when they hear noise and they just start going off. That's one thing about, my dogs, that I'm fortunate having smaller dogs. Not saying bigger dogs don't, but if you have a small dog, they can hear a pin drop and they're snapping. Like, ain't nobody coming in your house to rob you if you have a small dog. I will tell you that. If you have a small dog, if somebody's trying to break in your house, good luck. They're not getting too far because your dog's going to let you know and you're going to hear. Can be a little annoying sometimes, but I'd rather be alert than not alert. JRS997 saying, I don't know the theme of this movie, but it should be true crime and internet sleuths who get the information wrong. I can see that, I guess, but I mean, I kind of feel like they did that with Scream 5 with the whole true crime angle, with Richie even saying it, doing a stab requel based on true events. So it's like, would we be doing anything different at this point if they went with that? I don't know. I don't know. To me, based on the information we've been given, this seems like this killer is going to be very personal. It's going to be very personal to Sydney. With that said, I don't think if it's very personal to Sydney that the killers are going to be some random true crime fans or internet sleuths who get the information wrong or whatnot. It just, from what they're showing us, it's too personal. It has to be somebody from the past. What does it say on the poster? Face your past. So I don't think it'd just be some random internet sleuths. That's just my opinion, though. I can understand why some people believe that or why some people think that's how it should be. I don't. That's right, Shannon. Rosie's on the Stu train. All three of them are on the Stu train. You better believe it. And we do have a few more super chats in the house. I'm going to get to them here real quickly. Okay, I got you. Here we go. So, wants the black phone. Great choice. The black phone. Also, Matthew saying he's worried. I feel like they would have to cliffhang Stu and explain it more in Scream 8. That's what I've been saying all along. That's what I've been saying all along, That's what I've been saying all along. I think that that's what we are getting. I know some fans see that clip of what's her name? Michelle Randolph's character in Stu's kitchen, kind of like Casey Becker, and they're automatically assuming that that's going to be the opening scene. I'm still not convinced that's the opening. I'm still not convinced. I'm not convinced that's the opening at all. I still think that could be our cliffhanger ending. And I agree. They could cliffhang Stu's reveal and explain it more in 8. I 100% agree. So, let me know, do you want a watch party of the Black Phone? A review of the Black Phone? Or do you want me to do a recorded video where I watch the entire movie and basically do like a live video reaction, so to speak? Let me know. And I see coming in with another super chat, another 50 DKKs. Thank you again, man. You are on fire. Every single one of you guys are on fire. Thank you so much for your continued support. We are basically halfway to the goal. But again, guys, even if we exceed the goal, the point is, whoever sends in a super chat, or if you want to send in a super chat on another subscriber's behalf, like Shannon did with Paula earlier or whatnot, when you send in a super chat, you get a movie pick, and then we're going to add it to the wheel. We're going to spin the wheel, and then whatever it lands on this upcoming week, we're going to watch that. But you guys' picks stay on the wheel so that every week we can do a watch party or whatever it is that you guys chose for that specific movie. But saying, if they make Ghostface a myth, imagine Sidney takes off the mask to reveal the person, but the costume turns into dust and vanishes and no one there. I swear to you. Oh, I swear to you. I swear to you, I think you did this just to see me start bowling up, man. Oh my God. I swear if they did some old bullshit like that, I'm out. I can't do it. I can't. No, you cannot turn this franchise into some fucking urban legend Bloody Mary bullshit. I swear to God, I will fucking snap. I will. I might just be like, this is bullshit in the theaters and just storm out, throwing a full temper tantrum like a 10-year-old child. I might. That's how much it would upset me, honestly. Because I love this franchise. And what I love about this franchise the most is how real it is, or how real it's been, I should say. A lot of the characters and a lot of the way that they have structured this franchise, it has a sense of realism to it. So if you strip it of that realism, it's just like, what are we doing? Think about this. In regards to our main killers, like Freddy, Jason, Michael, Ghostface, Chucky, etc., Ghostface is like the only real living, breathing, human being underneath the costume. Michael is a force that we don't know what he really is, trapped in a vessel. Jason is a zombie, deadite, whatever you want to call him. Freddy is a hell demon. Chucky was a human, but through voodoo, he transfers his soul into dolls. So there's always a supernatural element with the majority of our horror icons, like the main horror icons. Ghostface is like the only one who's real, who's a living, breathing human being underneath the costume and behind the voice changer. If you take that away for some fucking urban legend, ghost story, horseshit, I quit. I'm done. You will completely lose me. I will not cover Scream 8. I will not watch it. I'm being dead serious when I say that. Serious as a heart attack. If they do some nut shit like that, I'm out. Finish. Finito. Out the door. Fuck that. I'm not doing it, bro. I'm not. I mean that. I'm not trying to sound negative. I'm not. But I love this franchise. And that's like Stab 8 doing the whole metal Ghostface angle that Richie and Amber were complaining about, and giving Ghostface no robe, a sleeveless half cut off shirt, and a fucking flamethrower. You might as well just do that if you're going to do this. So, calm down, Pops. Sorry. So, again, didn't mean to rant there, but it's just, I can't do it. I swear, if they do some, I'll always know what you did last summer bullshit, I'm out. I can't do it. I can't do it. I cannot do it. Do not do the I still know what you did, or I'll always know what you did last summer supernatural angle crap that they did for Scream 7. Please no. Good Lord, no. Oh, Gina's saying, with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Gina, for your super chat. I greatly appreciate it. Saying Creep Set in London Underground review. Okay. Sweet. Never heard of that. Get my old man glasses back on here so I can write this down properly without seeing blur. So Creep Set in London Underground review. Okay. Set. All right, got you down, Gina. Thank you so much for your $2 super chats. Greatly appreciate it. Shannon saying, with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much again, Shannon, for your continued support and your super chat. Saying, watch party sounds good for the bad seed. If it wins, count me in. Well, that's the thing, Shannon. Even if it doesn't win at the end of the stream today, if it's not the one picked, it stays on the wheel. So at some point, we're going to get to it. It's kind of like what Destin is doing with his will, but mine's a little bit different because I'm basically offering a review, a live watch party, or a recorded watch of my reaction of it. So just wanted to kind of switch things up a little bit and not be so identical to what Destin's doing, even though me and him have talked about it. He doesn't give a shit. I give a shit. You know, I like to be a little bit different. I like to be a little weird. So that's what we're doing with that. So thank you again, Shannon. So I got you down for the bad seed watch party. Got you. Live watch. Sweet. All right, so I got everything. Holy shit, we have another super chat. You know, bro. Holy shit, man. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Saying, coming in with a DKK of 100. Thank you so much. I'm just like shell shocked right now. Just, you guys are amazing, honestly. Saying, watch party. What if it looks like an opening scene? So let me write that down first so I don't forget. So, all right, yep. Live watch. Sweet. All right, so saying watch party. What if it looks like an opening scene with her getting a call, but it's just Stu having fun because he never got to do the opening in 96 like Billy, hence why he says this is going to be fun. Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. I like that. I definitely think they could make it look like the opening scene. This is what I think. I think the opening scene, they're going to make it look like the opening scene, but it's going to be our cliffhanger ending. That's how I look at that scene. Everything looks like a reimagining of Casey Becker's opening scene in Scream 96, but I just have a feeling it's going to be the cliffhanger ending. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. But that's just what I feel. But I can see Stu. Yeah, I can see Stu trying to have some fun with the phone calls and stuff like that because he really didn't get to do that. Billy was kind of, the one on the phone in the first one initially while Stu did all the running around. So, yeah, I can definitely see that. Awesome. Thank you again, and thank you everybody else as well. All right, so back to the regular chat. Now that I'm all caught up. Hey, what's going on, Freddy Fazbear, FNAF65, saying Saw X is peak. I agree. I love Saw X. It's great. It's amazing. Huh. That's weird. That's weird because I think over here it's showing that it is going towards my goal. Sometimes, Gina, it does take a while for every super chat to get like caught up in the goal section. So that might be it, but I don't know. It should be set because I said it. So we should be good. But again, sometimes YouTube acts a little funky. Yo, what's up, Edward? My apologies if I'm just seeing this. I know I'm a little bit behind. Just trying to make sure I get to everybody's comments as much as I can and not make sure everybody's like feeling left behind. But glad you're here. If you are still here, thank you for tuning in. Okay. Yo, what's up, David Hart? Saying Scream 2 is my favorite sequel, but they are all great. Yeah, I agree. I think every Scream movie, even though 5 and 6 has more flaws than the first 4, in my opinion, I think they're all still very watchable. They're all good movies. Like, I enjoy them. Even though I feel like 6 is the weakest of them all, I still enjoy these movies as a whole. So, Val saying, hot take, we are going back to the beginning and finding out Gail has been involved all along. I think it's possible, Val. You know how I feel about it. I'm actually, before I started the stream, I just put together a new thumbnail for one of my next videos, and it's a showdown between Sydney and Gail. I'll just leave it at that. So you already know how I feel about that. I'm right there with you. Yo, what's up, Blanca? Holy shit, it's been a minute. Saying, holy moly, look at this handsome devil. Save some women for the rest of us. I shot him 6 times. 7, 8, 9, 6. I appreciate that, man. Trust me. There's plenty. Trust me, I'm leaving plenty of women for you guys to take. I'm not. Trust me, it ain't all that, brother. It's not all that. But hey, I appreciate the compliment. Hey, it's all good, Spicy Oreo. I'm just glad that you're here. Saying sorry I'm late. I'm talking my coworkers into seeing Scream 7. Hashtag get it up. That's what's up. That's awesome. Yeah, I think I might just take my sister's kids and my cousin's kids out with me and have a little Cult of Ghostface myself and take the kids out and enjoy this movie. That's unless I'm in Florida the weekend of the movie's release, because I might be doing that for that convention. All right, I am going to scroll up here because I know I'm like super behind, so I do want to catch up. If I do miss your comment, I apologize. Pam saying 60-40. I got to bump those numbers up. I guess so, Pam. Oh, no, they're scaring me, girl. I don't know. They're scaring me with all the stuff that we're getting. I'll put it this way. I just hope they're not teasing us with all of this stuff just to give us nothing again. Because again, in Scream 5 and 6, they teased us with a lot of Stu Macher Easter eggs. And what did we get? We got caca. We didn't get shit. What we got was killers who were caca. So outside of Quinn, because I appreciate Quinn. I thought she had a lot of fucking potential and they just didn't maximize it. But there were so many Stu Macher Easter eggs in those 2 films, and they didn't reveal him alive. Now, granted, those 2 films could be the setup to this point, and that's what I'm hoping for. Trust and believe that. You know that. But when talking to Eric earlier, he told me that Kevin Williamson has been on record saying Scream 6 is his favorite Scream movie. I don't like that. I don't like it, Pam. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. With all the plot holes in that movie and the unbelievability in regards to our killers and where they come from and all that stuff, I worry that if that's Kevin's favorite Scream movie, is he going to do something identical to a extent with Scream 7? And that's where the fear is coming from. So again, I'm still very optimistic that Stu is going to be returning alive. But they played us before, so we'll find out. I'm just a little worried. That's all. But hey, if you can bump them numbers up, Pam, by all means, help a brother out here. I might need it. So let's catch up a little bit more. So Bluck is saying feels like Gale and the Meeks are misplaced in this film. I can see why you would say that. I think it's all going to boil down to how they explain the Carpenter sisters not being present, as well as the purpose behind Chad and Mindy joining Gale in Pine Grove. As for Gale, I don't think she's misplaced at all or feels misplaced. I think there is a reason why we've hardly got to see this character in any of the marketing. And when we have, especially with the most recent TV spot trailers that we have gotten, they have been leaning into this idea, at least in my opinion, that Gale could be a secret Ghostface. So I don't think she's out of place. I don't think she feels out of place, at least to me. Could I be wrong by the time we see the movie? Absolutely. That's not how I'm looking at it. Now, the twins, I can full-heartedly understand that. So we'll see. It's all about execution, how they're going to execute everything, not just in regards to the story, but the characters, especially with these three characters, and explaining why are they in Pine Grove? Why is Chad and Mindy teaming up with Gale? And why are they away from the Carpenter sisters? What happened between Tara and Chad's relationship? Granted, we already know what happened with the real life events. We don't need to get into it. But you have to give us a solid enough reason to accept why these characters are with Gale along for this ride in Scream 7. So hopefully they do. Shannon saying to Val, I'm going to be furious if she has another boyfriend at the beginning of 7. Like, she just lost muzzles. Yeah, right? Well, from what I know, or at least from what we assume, this movie is going to be taking place in 2026, the timeline anyway, right? So, much to Gale's credit, it has been 3 years since Muzzles got killed off. So, I don't know. I put it to you this way. I don't think she is going to have a boyfriend. Doesn't seem that way. I think the interesting dynamic here is Robbie Rivers, because I did a video months ago. It might even been late 2023. Oh no, late 2024, early 2025, when we start getting a bunch of casting news and stuff like that, and some character information. And when I found out that Robbie was supposed to be this rival reporter to Gale, it just instantly, to me, spells like a love could be brewing in the air. Could I be wrong? Sure. But I could easily see them making those two characters a thing. I could see that if the plan is to keep Gale alive, as well as Robbie. I can just see that playing out that way. So, I don't know. We'll see. But I get it. But much to be fair to Gale, based on where we are at in Scream 7 in regards to timeline, it would be like 3 years or even longer since she's been with Muscles. How fucked up would it be if she's dating Chad? Yeah, I swear. I don't know why I thought about that, but I did. It's like Randy said, Gale's an opportunist. Bluck is saying the trailer makes it seem like Gale disappears either after the interview or the psych ward. Yeah, Blucka, I mean, they definitely have barely featured Gale in these, in the marketing of this film. And that's why I feel like there's something going on with this character, something that I feel like a lot of fans are kind of ignoring because they don't want to see it happen. But there's something there, in my opinion, in regards to her possibly being a bigger suspect than what a lot of people want to believe or what a lot of people see and stuff. So it is interesting that she keeps disappearing in the promotion to this movie, especially because she is an executive producer, much like Nev Campbell is, Courtney Cox is. So very, very interesting that she's hardly in any of the promotion in the lead up. And the stuff that we do see her in, they're very fascinating scenes, to say the least. Outside of the part where we see her, Chad, and Mindy pull up and she does her cliche, let's unmask this fucker, whatever she says. One way or another, Blucka, Gale has to die in this movie, whether she dies as a regular civilian or whether she dies as Ghostface. One way or another, this has to be the end, man. Like, it just has to be. That's how I feel about it. Or Spicy Oreo asking Pam about her tattoo. Yeah, that's sick that she's getting that done. And thank you to you guys, a lot of you guys who participated in that for her, showed her support so she could get that done. I have no doubt that she's going to pick a sick choice for whatever that tattoo is going to be. Yo, what's up at Comic Book Guys? Glad to see you here. Saying also saw Kevin confirm he's directing 8 just now. Okay, so that is confirmed. I mean, that basically was already confirmed months ago with the Production Weekly with the whole Production Weekly post that they did months ago when talking about Scream 8 has been greenlit for development, and it showed Kevin Williamson's name as director. So good thing that we did just get that confirmed. I mean, but it kind of already was, but I guess now it's like 100% official. It's confirmed. And I just think that further hammers home the idea and the fact that we're most likely going to get a cliffhanger ending in Scream 7. That's what I feel like, especially right before the movie comes out. Why announce, oh, yes, Kevin Williamson's coming back to direct Scream 8 as well? This has to be a 2-part story. This has to be. The first part is Scream 7. The ending is Scream 8. That's how I'm taking it. Or that's how I'm looking at it, I should say. So, interesting stuff. Man, they were just fucking bombarding us with a bunch of shit here over the last week. It's just ridiculous. Yo, what's up, Dom? Glad to see you here, man. Thank you for showing up, as always. Okay, so Edward Duncan asking, saying, hey, I shot him 6 times. Here's a theory of Stu Macher's return. My idea is this Stu Macher's reason is that he is a guy who all... Wait, what? Okay, so let me try to decipher this. My idea is that Stu Macher's reason is that he is a guy who all thinks he was never one as peace, but he would never let things there's probably go. Okay, so I think I know what you're trying to say here. So basically what you're saying is that Stu Macher, the reason why he's returning is because he's never really been at peace with the idea that he's forgotten. Because that is something that a lot of us Stu truthers have talked about over the years, that Stu is always forgotten. Like, I'm going to say always forgotten, but it's always like he's the back burner. He's always vaguely mentioned. It's always about Billy, Billy, Billy. So I think that's what you're referring to with that comment. And yeah, I agree if that is what you're referring to. Stu is always forgotten. So he may not be at peace with that, which would make sense for why he would plan a return if he's been in hiding all these years, and why he wants to solidify himself and break away from the shadow of Billy. So let me know if that's what you meant by that, Edward. I'm pretty sure that is what you meant, but I just want to be certain. At Comic Book Guy saying he said also there was kills he wanted in his film, but saved it for 8. It was in the Q&A thing they did the other day. Okay. So do me a favor, comic book guys. If you are a follower of mine on Instagram, if you can, send me the link to that Q&A if you have that video, because I want to watch it. That's very, very interesting. He wanted some kills in Scream 7 that he saved for Scream 8. That tells me there are certain characters who were supposed to die in this movie that he's going to save to kill in Scream 8. Very, very interesting stuff. Thank you for that, comic book guys. And again, if you can, send me the link to that Q&A session in my Instagram. It would be greatly, greatly appreciated. And when I do my video breakdown of that or discuss things about that Q&A session from Kevin, I'll be sure to give you a shout out. We still have 40 people here hanging out. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm glad I could be able to stream today and hang out and answer you guys' questions and talk about you guys' theories. And we have some more super chats in the His House. Dominant St. Clair Studios coming in with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Dom. And I see we have hit our 15 super chat goal. Thank you guys so much for that. But again, if you guys continue to send in super chats, if you haven't sent in one already, basically, if you send in a super chat, what I will do is you guys pick a movie outside of Scream. You guys pick a movie for me to do a pre-recorded reaction video to, watching the entire movie, a live watch party, or just a regular review of that said movie. So we hit the goal, but you guys can still, if you choose to, if you haven't done so already, if there is a movie you guys want me to cover in the fashion that I just said, definitely send in a super chat, and I got you guys. I already got my list written down here. So Dom saying Mars Attack live watch party. All right. And that's another thing I will say. If you guys send in a super chat, even when we spin the wheel on what movie is going to get picked, your movie stays on the wheel. You don't lose that spot. It's just basically going to get covered over the course of weeks and stuff like that. So just wanted to let you guys know that. You guys don't lose your spot or lose your movie. You guys still will get to have that. Okay, so Mars Attack live watch party. Got you, Dom. All right. Sweetness. Thank you again, brother. I greatly appreciate you, man. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're staying warm, too. Yeah, you're in fucking Cali. You ain't got to deal with this cold-ass bullshit here like we do on the East Coast. You're fucking lucky. Coming in with another 20 DKK super chat. Thank you again, man. Greatly appreciate your continued support, man. Saying it'd be weird if Chad didn't mention Tara after 6. I agree. We have to get some mention. We have to, especially from Chad, how much he loved that girl. Like, you can't give us a little, oh yeah, so this is what happened to the Carpenter sisters, but it comes from Gail or it comes from Mindy and stuff, or at least Tara's part in regards to explaining where she's at. Got to let Chad explain that. Maybe it didn't work out the way he hoped. Maybe they're in witness protection and they didn't, Chad and Mindy didn't want to go with them in witness protection or something of that nature. I don't know. But I agree that Chad should mention Tara in this movie. It would be weird him not mentioning her. We'll see. That's what I'm basically hoping for in this movie. I want every loose end to be tied up. I understand not every single one is going to be tied up in the way that we probably all hope, because the Carpenter sisters are still out there in the wind and stuff. But either way, I just hope a lot of the questions that we have had over the last 2 films, I hope the majority of those things get answered, especially when it pertains to Stu. So we'll see, man. And coming in with another 50 DKK super chat. Thank you again, man. Saying, what if Gail is secretly dating Marco? Bro, are you fucking stooging my brain, Bro. Yo, bro, come on, bro. Bro, you're stooging. You have to be stooging. Somehow, some radioactive way, you are stooging, brother. I'm fucking with you, man. But honestly, I had the same exact fucking idea. No bullshit. No bullshit. I had the same exact idea. What if Gail is secretly dating Marco, Ethan Embry, and they're both evil? Bro, I think it's possible. That is so crazy that we're on the same wavelength. It's so crazy. When it comes to Gail, we're literally right there, neck and neck. That's fucking nuts. Because I was thinking about that earlier when I was putting my thumbnail together for this theory video that I'm doing that is going to be titled The Secret Traitor Part 2, delving into the theory that Gail Weathers is possibly Ghostface in Scream 7. And one of my ideas that I had was, what if she's working with Ethan Embry's character, who is, at least at this point in my opinion, a worker at Fallbrook Psychiatric Hospital, from what it looks like, with his lanyard and all that stuff. So, and it looks like he's wearing those type of scrubs that would be worn in that type of setting. So, yeah, I'm right there with you, man. That's fucking insane. That's crazy. Hey, I'm all for it. As long as they make it make sense in the way I think it can make sense. And I'm not trying to make that sound selfish or, how can I say, self-deprecating, I guess, how I should term that. But the way I envision Gail being presented as this mastermind Ghostface who may have always been an undercover Ghostface, I think, the whole thing of making this work is the execution. You have to make it make sense. I think there are certain ways, and there are certain. I always think that there's basically Gail. What we have seen throughout this character in the franchise, there has always been these little tidbits and nuggets, especially since Scream 4, that leans into the idea that Gail, if she wanted to, could turn into Ghostface. So it's all about execution. And if Ethan Embry's working with her, again, it's all about execution. But I am not against that at all. I'm not. We know Gail can manipulate people. We know that. Gail is a very charming individual, to put it nicely. So again, man, it's very, very possible. And another super chat coming in from Shannon. Thank you again, Shannon. $5 super chat saying, watch Devil's Candy if you haven't. Ethan Embry is creepy. Ooh, that might be a movie we might have to watch before Scream 7 comes out. I like to do that in regards to, like, maybe watching a movie from a character that's going to be in Scream that is speculated to be a killer, or at least we have an idea that he could be a killer, and he plays in a movie where he's kind of, or that person, male or female, plays in a movie where they're a killer or they're playing a creepy type of character. So, yeah, I definitely wouldn't mind watching that. Thank you again, Shannon, for your continued support and your last $5 super chat. It's greatly appreciated. I'm going to write that down. Devil's Candy. I always felt Ethan Embry's character, it would have been nice to see him more in disturbing behavior. Because he was in that too, but it was brief. Because his character was, like, killed off. Like, without us seeing him present. He's a damn good actor, though. I like him. All right, so now let's get back to the regular chat. Catch up with some of you guys' questions and stuff. Yo, what's up, J-Rod? J-Rod saying, I guess the dog has an issue with that idea also. Nah, the dogs just have an issue with people making noise. That's all that is. That's typical dog shit. Trust and believe they don't even know what the hell we're talking about. Yeah, I always wish that I could, know what my dogs are thinking, or wish they could speak. It'd be really cool. Always thought that. Okay, so let me catch up here. At MB1865 saying, if you didn't know, on January 21st, 2026, Scream 7 News, a brand new young cast member, Kyle Winters. Yeah, I saw something about that. He is playing Aaron. Also, he was on set 1 week and a half, and he is with the cast behind the scenes. I did see him. I did see Kyle Winters playing as Aaron. I seen like the image of all of them like as a group together taking a photo, and that did kind of fascinate me because I hadn't seen him up to that point. So it's gonna be really interesting what they're gonna do with his character. It's kind of like I don't know, man. I kind of just feel like he might be a background character. Could he be the mental patient? Maybe. I don't know, but we don't know enough. Just like we don't know enough about much of the other characters either. We just started getting some insight on like Ben, Hannah, Chloe, and stuff like. So we're just starting to get an idea of what these characters are like. So, man, that's going to be interesting to see what they do with his character. I mean, I feel like if he was really, I mean, granted, Scream always does show us the killer, even if it's briefly before revealing them. So could he be a killer, but we only see him briefly in a couple of scenes? Absolutely. I don't know. I'm just not feeling it with this guy. I just feel like he's going to be another background character that might not matter. But I could be wrong. We'll see. Thank you for your comment, MB. Glad to see you here. Denise is saying, you're beginning hype people up when you know that's not true. I don't know what that means, so let me know. What's he hyping people up about? I mean, I'm just seeing that he's been hyping people up like in regards to like maybe getting excited for the movie. I don't know. J Rod saying or asking, what's this lawsuit about, this whole Ghostface mask issue? Geez. Basically the people who are claiming that they were the original creators of the Ghostface mask, they're trying to file a lawsuit 30 years after the fact. That's how I look at it. I kind of talked about it at the beginning of the stream. It seems like the people who are, I guess, were the original creators of the Ghostface mask, now they're trying to say that the Scream franchise stole it from them and stuff like that. And it's like, you had 6 movies to say something about this, and just now you're saying something about it. So I personally think it's going to be nothing too much that comes out of it. I think it's obvious that these people are trying to cash out. They want some money, and I don't think they're going to get it. So I don't know. I know I'm super behind again, so I am going to scroll up so I can catch up a little bit. If I miss your comments, I apologize. What's up, Pat? Have Cheetah will view here in the chat asking, is there a chance Bigfoot is Ghostface? I sure hope not, Patrick. That would be very, very disappointing. Very, very disappointing. That might explain the heavy breathing, though, that we hear, from Ghostface when they're running around and when they sit up in Sydney's house and they do that like Darth Vader and shit. Hey, maybe it is Bigfoot, but if it is, I think they will lose every bit of audience that they have. They will lose them. J Rod saying, I remember back in 1996 and 97 when I put my friend's OG Gen 1 Scream mask, put on my friend's OG Gen 1 Scream mask that actually was still called Fantastic Faces at the time. And now that mask would be worth so much now. Yeah, for sure. The thing is why did that company decide all of a sudden 30 years later to make a gripe about it now? That's my only issue with it. It's like you had literally 6 movies and you had almost 30 years to say, hey, that's my intellectual property. I need to get compensated for it. And you chose not to. So it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. It just seems like some flunky shit. All right. So Shannon saying, I know something about Courtney regarding Scream 7, and it's not a spoiler. Okay, so as long as it's not a spoiler, Shannon, hit me with it. Let's hear it. Blucka saying, so Kevin and the writers said they will give Sydney a happy ending at some point, but we see them killing Mark. So what if Mark is stepdad and Kincaid comes back and ate for the happy ending? Tatum's last name is Evans, which is Mark's last name. So that's his daughter. So he's not stepdad. I mean, unless the other kids are not his, which I doubt that would be the case. So yeah, it's basically been confirmed that Tatum is his daughter. So, I mean, we think they kill Mark, but what if they pull a Dewey with Mark, right? What if they pull a Chad with Mark? It's very possible. I don't think they're going to. I think it looks like he is going to get killed off. But we've seen Chad get absolutely fucking obliterated these last two movies, and he's still alive and well, and he's still kicking, and he's going to be in Pine Grove helping us solve this latest Ghostface murders as they happen in real time. So, with that said, I mean, they could kill Mark off, or they could give him the Dewey / Chad treatment. I kind of hope they do give him the Dewey / Chad treatment and don't kill his character off. Like, I don't want, I've said it before and I'll say it here again. I don't want Mark Evans to be a Ray from Halloween 2018, where he gets a couple funny lines. We see a couple little funny, maybe some wholesome moments, but then in the thick of things, he just gets killed off unceremoniously. So let's hope they don't do that. Patrick saying Gail being a secret Ghostface would ruin the franchise. I see her dying before being a Ghostface. I disagree. I don't think it would ruin the franchise at all. Think about it in regards to shocking Ghostface reveals. Nobody would see that coming. And if there's anybody from the past outside of Stu Macher that could be potentially going after Sydney for a legit reason, it would be Gail. Gail needs the Ghostface legacy to stand tall forever, for her to be the type of investigative reporter that she wants to be viewed as, that top-notch true crime investigative reporter that she craves to be. Ghostface killings have to be happening. So, if Sam and Tara aren't around to keep that story going and those attacks going for that story, now we got to kick it back to the original. The only difference is this time around is that Sydney is expendable because she has a daughter that can carry on the legacy of the Stab franchise and future Ghostface attacks, in the future. Gail even says that in the trailer. She asks Sydney about, Tatum basically being a target for future Ghostface attacks. So I personally don't think it would ruin the franchise, especially if it's executed correctly. I already look at Gail as a villain. I don't look at Gail as a good character, or a good legacy character, or a likable legacy character like a lot of fans do. I don't. She is literally the reason why random people feel motivated to become Ghostface, whether it's through the Stab movies or through her books. And through all the pain and through all the chaos and through all the murders, she still continues to push the narrative for Ghostface's legacy to be relevant. Why? Because Ghostface's legacy and relevancy is tied into her legacy and her relevancy. much like I've said before, the total entertainment job or the morning job in New York, that doesn't cut it in regards to what she truly wants to be viewed as a reporter. There's a reason she purposely inserts herself into every Ghostface killing spree, even when it's clear she's not even a real target. She inserts herself purposely. Why? Because she knows that her legacy is tied into Ghostface. Without Ghostface, she is nothing. She's just another morning show reporter. That's it. But when Ghostface attacks are happening, she's Gail Weathers, author of the Woodsboro Murders and co-creator of the Stab franchises. So, or the Stab franchise, I should say. So, Ghostface heightens her profile, which is what Gail has always wanted. Even in Scream 6, Ghostface hints at Gail being Ghostface and even mentions little tidbits like, you never got to be the leading lady, did you? It was always about sweet Sydney sucking up all the oxygen. Where does that leave you? The brains in a sex appeal? That's what she says. Why that is important in regards to the brains aspect is because she could be a mastermind. Her way of being the leading lady in a Scream movie or in a Stab movie could be her revealing herself as a mastermind Ghostface who has been a part of everything since the very beginning, even with Roman. I'm not going to go too deep into that theory just yet. I'm going to save that for a video. But I definitely do think there can be a case that could be made for Gail to be a killer and it not ruin the franchise. I mean, everybody has their opinion, and I respect yours, Patrick. You already know that, brother. But me personally, I don't think it would ruin the franchise. If it's done correctly, I think it would be one of the more satisfying and shocking and more reasonable Ghostface reveals that we have ever gotten in a franchise. That's just me. I like the idea of Gail being Ghostface. I do. I really do. I think there are so many nuggets and clues that point to that being the case throughout the entirety of the franchise, that if you wanted to tie all those into a perfect bow, it could be done. Cheetah also saying Ethan Embry rocked in Hunter x Hunter and the Devil's Candy. Yeah, Shannon mentioned something about the Devil's Candy earlier. So I'll put Hunter x Hunter in there as well. That sounds interesting. That sounds like some chase scene shit. All right, so I got that down. And I do see we have another super chat. Again, from Talking Star Wars, Shannon's on fire today, too. Holy shit. Like, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for your support. Saying, Shannon saying Courtney is in it for 25 minutes. I think Nev is 45 minutes. Very, very fascinating. Yeah, I seen something like that a few months ago when they did the whole run times for the characters and stuff. I thought Courtney's was a little bit less than that. I thought hers was only going to be like 20. But we're getting her for 25 minutes. And Nev, that's understandable because she's going to be the focus of this movie. That's crazy, though. So hold up. If Nev is only going to be in this movie for 45 minutes, I shouldn't say only because it's like basically half the movie. But this movie is basically 2 hours long. Huh. Hopefully that means good character development for the other characters. Interesting. Well, Courtney's in it for 25 minutes. And for a few of those minutes, we know they're going to be doing an interview and she's going to be showing up at Sydney's house announcing her arrival. So I'm really interested to see what her scenes are going to be with the other minutes that she has outside of what we have already seen, what we have already been given. I don't know, Shannon. I don't know, Shannon. One way or another, I'm 50-50 on it, guys. Like I've said before, either Gail is going to die as a regular civilian in this movie or she's going to die as Ghostface. One way or another, I think Gail does die in this movie. So we will see. It's going to be very, very interesting. I'm so excited to see this damn movie. It's going to be so much fun. At least I think so. Yo, what's up, Mimo boy? Saying they are showing Scream 6 now. Juby, whatever happened to the cam put under the TV in Stu's house? So I think Eric from the Bearded Entertainment said something to us on a live stream a couple years ago. From what I can recollect, I'll have to maybe ask him, to get an update on that. But the camera that is in Stu's house that Gail puts there isn't really a camera. It's a camera monitor that basically provides a feed to the van or whatnot. And what happens is when the van becomes out of reach, it stops like monitoring, it stops recording or whatnot. So whenever the van gets crashed, when Gail is trying to, drive the van and go get help or whatever, apparently when she crashes it, the monitor stops recording. So it doesn't even matter what happens after that scene because we wouldn't even be able to see it, at least from what he was telling us on a live stream a couple years ago. So, I mean, from what told me a couple days ago, he actually showed me this in one of the TV spots where Michelle Randolph's character is laying on the ground in Stu's house. It looks like you can see a replica of that camera that Gail used, or that monitor that Gail used in Scream 96. It's there in Stu's house, but I'm going to assume that's just a replica of that. It's not the actual one. I could be wrong, but I don't know. But that's a great question. Again, I'm going to ask Eric about that so I can get further clarification. But I do remember him saying that isn't like a real, like legit camera per se. It's just like a monitor that provides a feed to a certain location. And then once, it's out of reach, it stops monitoring. So great question again, though. J-Rod saying, if Scream 7 is the start of explaining a cult, then the franchise changes in pretty big ways. Like in the way we never saw the John Wick franchise going. Yeah, maybe. See, I never really got into the John Wick movies. I know a lot of people are going to hate me for saying that. Like, I'm not hating on them. I think Keanu Reeves is awesome in those movies, in the ones that I watched. But I just never. I'm a horror guy through and through. Like, I mainly watch horror movies. Like, I like some comedies, I like some action, but I just prefer to binge watch horror shit. Like, I just don't get into action or none of that stuff like I used to when I was younger. But yeah, they could definitely change the franchise in a lot of big ways, especially if they explain it in a way that makes sense. And I also think they should explain it in a way that the cult has actually been present longer than Scream 7's events. Like, it's been around for a little bit now. Because something that did point out to me a couple weeks ago in a message that he sent me is, if you listen to Scream 1996, when Sidney and Tatum are walking up to the school and they're talking about what happened to Casey Becker, or right before they start talking about what happened to Casey, you hear the reporters talking, and then you hear Gail say, about what happened and stuff like that. But before we hear Gail talking, you hear a reporter say something about the school thinks it has something to do with the occult. So that line of dialogue right there, including the fact that Kevin Williamson wanted to do the Cult of Ghostface angle with Scream 3 before he wasn't able to do it, this whole Cult of Ghostface idea, in my opinion, has always been around since the original movie, and has always basically been Kevin's end game, so to speak, in regards to the stories he wanted to tell and how he wanted the Ghostface character in itself to evolve. So the seeds were planted in the first film. The seeds were definitely planted in Scream 5 and 6, in my opinion. You can maybe make the argument for 4, but I definitely will say 5 and 6 more. But the seeds have always been planted for the cult of Ghostface to be presented. Now it's all about them presenting it and presenting it in a way that not only makes sense, but that ties the entire franchise together, at least in my opinion. So yeah, it would definitely change the franchise. It would. That is something that would change the franchise, in my opinion. At Comic Book Guys, it's the same as my name on here. I shot him 6 times. That's just it's just I shot him 6 times. That's all it is. It's the same as you would see it on here. At Night Owl 30, what's going on, Night Owl? Saying Kevin says he has a photo. Good Lord, I'm losing my voice a little bit. Saying Kevin says he has a folder called Graveyard where he saves all his kill ideas and ideas that weren't used. Nice. That's how his movie Sick came about. Oh, that's interesting. That's sweet. I think that's a good thing to have, especially if you're one who wants to do something for a future project that you maybe didn't get to do before with another project. I think that's pretty cool, man. Especially, for the movie that he came out with was Sick. I thought that was pretty good. I didn't think that was too bad of a movie. So that's awesome. Hopefully he has some interesting kills and ideas that weren't used for previous Scream movies for this movie and for Scream 8. I think that's what we're getting for the most part. But hey, who knows until we see it. Gina saying she maybe doesn't pass if she's landing on a rubber knife, as she was poking herself in the face with it and used it in that way. Oh, are you talking about Madison's character, Michelle Randolph? Huh. I see your other comment up here. So Gina saying, Blucka, did you see Fate's video about the Michelle Randolph TV spot saying that the knives are rubber and she does poke herself in the face with one? Huh. I didn't see that. Like, I didn't really pay attention to it. I have the clip. I'm going to end up pulling it up. So maybe that's something I'll have to take a look at. I mean, are you talking about the knife that she's like holding up like Casey Becker when she's on the phone? Huh. That's interesting. And I did see this from Blucka. Hold on, I want to pull this up. Okay, this is it right here. So Bluck is saying he did not see that yet, that the opening sequence feels very Stab-esque. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is the first full Stab movie opening sequence. I've been hearing things about that's what this will be. Don't know how I really feel about that. I'm hoping it's not, especially in regards to if it's going to be the part where we see Stu's house burning down. Now, if it's separate from Stu's house burning down, I can get jiggy with that. But if it's supposed to be the scene where we're seeing Ghostface burn down Stu's house, I hope it's not a Stab movie. I really hope it's not. That would be so fucking stupid to me. I would hate it. We'll see, though. Yes, at Comic Book Guys. Thank you for that, Shannon. Saying I shot him 6XS. Yes, Marcus Witherspoon, in case there's another I shot him 6 times. Yes, thank you for that, Shannon. Yes, thank you for that, for letting Comic Book Guys know my Instagram handle in its full entirety. I greatly appreciate it. MB saying, hey, if I think I already read this one. I did. So yeah, I'm a little bit behind. I'm gonna catch up. Okay, so Night Owl saying Kyle Winters will be in the fairy play. Interesting. Wonder if he's gonna die. I wonder who is all in that play. Like all of the characters. Like I wonder who is all supposed to be attending or supposed to be a part of that play. Edward Duncan saying, what I mean was Stu Macher coming back as Ghostface is this his MO wasn't even about fun. Okay, it was about a guy like him who took notes and mastered himself due to a very small circle of friends. Oh, okay. So basically what you're saying is if Stu's going to come back as a Ghostface in this movie, his MO in this movie isn't about fun anymore. It's more about him taking notes and mastering himself to be the mastermind he became, so to speak. That's how I'm viewing that comment. Very much so, man. Yeah, I mean, very, very much so. I mean, Stu was a mastermind in the first film, and people overlook it all the time. Like, he literally tells you when Billy's explaining how Neil's going to kill Sidney and then do harm to himself, Stu literally says, I came up with that idea. So he's already been a mastermind and stuff. So in regards to him, like, further solidifying himself and showing that he's like the ultimate ghost face, I can get behind that. That's kind of what I want. You know, I want him to be the ultimate ghost face. I want him to be the Michael Myers to Sidney's Laurie Strode. That's what I want. Hopefully they give it to us. And he's also saying and that he is a very secure man. So, hold on. What I mean is, was Stu Macher coming back as a Ghostface? Is this his MO? Wasn't even about having fun. It was about a guy like him who took notes and mashed himself to. Okay. So, are you saying basically, are you trying to say that like he's redeemed now at this point? Like he's not the same Stu Macher anymore? Help me out with that, Ed, because I'm kind of a little bit confused. I hope that's not the case because I don't want Stu to be a good guy. I don't. I know some fans want that. I'm not on board. I don't like it. Yeah, let me know, Ed, because I'm a little bit confused. Just a little bit. J-Rod saying Ethan Embry said in a recent interview that he's always wanted to be in a Scream franchise. So he's on cloud 9 right now. Yeah, I heard he auditioned for Stu's role in 96. He auditioned to play Stu or no, he auditioned to play Billy. He auditioned to play Billy, and he obviously didn't get the role. So, yeah, this is like a full circle moment for him, and that's another reason why I think he might be able to get his moment here and be revealed as a killer because Billy was a killer. He wanted to play the role of Billy. He didn't get that role, but now he's going to be in Scream 7 as Marco. So maybe maybe he gets his shot to be a killer again this time around. Oh, okay. I think I'm starting to understand a little bit more, Ed. Ed saying in that he learned quality is more learning than quantity. So he doesn't need an audience or family or accomplice to validate his own worth. Okay. So I get what you're saying. So basically what you're saying is that Stu, if he is coming back as Ghostface, he doesn't need a cult. He doesn't need nobody to help him. Much like Roman doing everything by himself in Scream 3, he's out to validate himself and do everything himself. That's basically what you're saying. Hey, I've said it before that this movie did give off vibes, at least from what I thought about in the first trailer. It was giving off the vibes that there was only going to be one killer. But now that we've gotten a more recent TV spot trailer where you literally hear Ghostface telling Sidney, we're going to burn it all down, that's a direct reference that there's going to be more than one killer in this movie. But I agree with you. You know, if they were to go with the angle that Stu is the only killer and he's by himself, no cult, no help, no accomplice, I wouldn't be against that because, again, subsequently, I want Stu to be viewed as the ultimate Ghostface when it's all said and done. And that could be a way that he could be viewed as the most ultimate Ghostface, is that he committed the murders like Roman by himself, but in his own style and in his own fashion. So, yeah, I can see that. You're right, he doesn't really need anybody to validate his own worth. He really doesn't. You know, like, I mean, granted, the fans do validate him to a degree because we want to see him back. But it's because of how he was in Scream 96 is because that's why we want him back. So that means he really doesn't need our validation. If anything, we more need it from him. We need Stu to be authentic Stu, to be satisfied, to feel vindicated, to feel validated. Stu really doesn't need audiences or accomplices or whatever to validate his own worth. He really doesn't. Especially if you're trying to step out of somebody's shadow like he's trying to step out of Billy's shadow. Very good stuff, Ed. I'm glad I was able to piece that together. I was getting a little lost there, but I think I got it now. J-Rod said, yeah, I think Ethan Embry said he thought he wasn't vibing with Wes Craven, so he didn't get the part. That could be. That definitely could be. Okay, so Ed's saying, because Stu, he's a very secure man, and that his whole thing as to why he's back and asks why he became Ghostface in the original, because no matter how many times he was just about to have a successful life, it always goes bad for him in the end. That's why I was trying to say to you, Marcus, with my theory with him. Oh, okay. See, I don't look at it like that though, because see, this is what makes Stu so great though, as a killer, is that he's very unpredictable. You know, he's a very, very unpredictable person. So I don't think him worrying about like being secure or any of that. I don't think he would be worried about that. I genuinely believe like him killing people is fun to him. You know, so I don't think him like being secure or worry about being successful. I don't think none of that really pertains to him. You know, I could be wrong, but I don't know. Yo, what's up, Tory Mayers? Glad to see you here. I know I'm a little bit behind again, guys, so I am going to scroll up a little bit so I can catch up. Yo, what's up, Carrie? Glad to see you here. At Comic Book Guy saying, if Gail's a Ghostface, then I think she would be the first to be arrested. I don't know if Sydney would kill her unless forced to. Oh, she's got to die. She's got to die. She just has to. She has to die. I wouldn't want to see her arrested. I wouldn't want to see her arrested. No, she got to go. Yeah, she got to bite the blade, or she's got to get shot in the head. Val saying Gail is just a legacy character taking up screen time. Nowhere for her arc to go. Yeah, I mean, the only way I can see her having a fitting like story arc or an ending to her story that you can make sense of her return in this movie is if she did make that book about Dewey and, you know, start focusing more on not trying to cover Ghostface attacks. But it's clear based on the footage that we have, that's not the case. She is still Gail Weathers. She's even pressing Sydney about her kids and stuff like that, even when Sydney even tells her, I told you I didn't want to talk about my kids. That right there is a clear indication that Gail Weathers is still the same old Gail Weathers that she has always been. And with that being said, something has to be done about this character to the point where you got to do something. We can't just keep getting the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. It's tired at this point. We know who Gail Weathers is. We know she's the snarky, opportunistic reporter who is going to do whatever it takes to keep the Ghostface legacy alive because that helps her career be relevant and that helps her be relevant. But you got to give us more than that. You can't just keep giving us the same thing. This is why, unless they give her a redemption arc, which I don't see it happening, you have to kill this character off in a grandiose type of fashion, or reveal her as a secret Ghostface and kill her off in an even more grandiose type of fashion. One way or another, something has to be done with this character. Like, it can't be the same old shit. It just cannot. That's what's, interesting about Sydney's character. She might be the same old Sydney Prescott that we know and love, but the difference is now we get to see her as a mother. That's different. We didn't get to see that, obviously, before. So now we're going to be getting a whole different side of this character that we've never seen before. We can't say that for Gale. So far. So far, from what we know, Gale is going to be Gale. There's no redemption arc for the character. There's no writing a book about a sheriff, named Dewey Riley, who is the sheriff of a small town in Woodsboro, who tried to love and help people, putting his life at risk for others, None of that. So to me, you got to do something with this character. It's either kill her off, get her out of here, stop wasting up screen time, stop funking up the joint, or freshen her up, reveal that she has been a part of this thing ever since the beginning. And I'm talking about before Billy and Stu. I'm talking about during Roman, Billy, and Stu. You reveal something like that, you freshen this character up, and you give her a grandiose exit in a fashion that will be memorable for years to come. I said it on Knight's stream the other night, and I'm saying it here. The Scream franchise, Sydney's greatest rival outside of Ghostface is who? It's Gale Weathers. This whole story started with Sydney and Gale. I would not be against it ending with Sydney and Gale either. In regards to Sydney's story, it was Gale who put Sydney's story to the forefront when it was supposed to be Roman's story. It was Gale who focused on Sydney and fixated on Sydney in the aftermath of Marine's death. So to me, this whole storyline started with these two. It ends with these two. And I'm all for seeing that showdown. I think it would be so poetic and a beautiful tie-in to the original movie and their rivalry and how we've seen it unfold over the course of many years. I do see we have another super chat in the house. And it's from Yuno with another DKK $50 super chat. Thank you so much, Yuno, again, for your continued support, brother. Saying, what if Ghostface accidentally picks up the rubber knife? So when she lands on the knife, it's a fake out and Ghostface is just like, huh? That would fucking be hilarious. That would be like when Gale in Scream 6 says, can you hold, please? And he's like, what? That shit, that is one of my favorite moments in Scream 6, is when she pulls the okie doke on him and is like, can you hold, please? And he's just like, what? Like, totally did not expect her to fucking say that. So I wouldn't be against that, for comedic purposes. Actually picks up the rubber knife, so when she lands on it. Yeah, so Ghostface is really trying to kill her, but he fucks up and picks up the wrong knife, and it's the rubber knife. She lands on it, but she obviously isn't dead. And then Ghostface is like, huh? And then, yeah, that would be funny. That'd be funny as fuck. It would be. A little cheesy, but funny. And we have another 50 DKK super chat from Yuno saying, if Stu is not alive, then Doofy from Scary Movie will be the only Ghostface to ever get away with it. Isn't that the fucking truth? Wow, that's crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, I mean, Scream 7 has a golden opportunity to do something, that we have never seen before in regards to bringing back a killer who was thought to be dead that is alive, and give a Ghostface character a little Michael Myers nuance to them, which is why I want Stu Macher to come back. For all the times
that Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson has paid homage to Halloween in this throughout the course of this franchise, what would be the ultimate chef's kiss than to bring a killer that was thought to be dead back and reveal they're alive in the same type of fashion to a small degree that Michael Myers kept coming back after being thought to be killed off for so many films. I love it. I love that idea. Just one time. I'm not saying let this be a normal thing, because that's always been the beauty about this franchise, is that we've always gotten new killers and different motives for the most part, so on and so forth. But just one time, when the timing is right for it to happen, bring back an old killer, and preferably bring back Stu Macher, please. Please, please, please. I think they're doing it. I think it's happening for the most part. But I also have to be on my P's and Q's that they might be fucking playing us. And I'm hoping that's not the case. But again, got to be on high alert for that type of outcome. All right, catch up here a little bit more. Carrie's saying Devil's Candy is so good. Ooh. All right, well, that might be something I might turn on and watch after I'm done with the stream, after I'm done with this episode of the podcast. I am going to go a few more minutes here. Probably about, let's say probably another 10, 15 minutes I'll go. And then we'll wrap it up. I will also say tomorrow I am doing another episode of the podcast. 3:00 p.m. Eastern time. It's already uploaded on the channel. I just haven't filled out the description or anything yet. But basically tomorrow, I'm going to be revisiting Scream 6, much like I did a couple weeks ago with revisiting Scream 5. And we're going to have a discussion about Scream 6 3 years later and how Scream 6 or certain elements or certain moments from Scream 6 could find its way into being explained, and some plot holes being covered up from Scream 6 in Scream 7's film. So that's going to be an interesting conversation as well. And the reason why I scheduled it for 3:00 is because I want to be able to stream before the Super Bowl, because I'm sure many of us are going to be watching that game. So, and plus, I expect us to get a new trailer during the Super Bowl. That's what I've been hearing. So, and I'm talking about like a new full trailer, like the second full trailer for Scream 7. So, yeah, definitely don't want to miss that. Shannon saying Ghostie's never seen Devil's Candies. We should fire him. Yeah, I've never even heard of it up until this point. Rando Geek saying, Dewey died violently. So, Dewey died violently. She could have been mad because he left her in New York. Talking about Gail didn't give a shit about Dewey. She didn't. I don't care. Not trying to sound rude here when I say this, but I genuinely, I think she had some love and care for Dewey. I don't think she cared or loved Dewey the way that Dewey loved and cared for her. I don't. Think about when she showed up in Scream 5 and she starts, punching him in the arm. And she's like, you tell me Ghostface is back over a text? You tell me over a text? She was worried more about him telling her that Ghostface is back over a text than worried about his actual well-being. She was more worried about the way Dewey told her that Ghostface was back than worried about if Dewey was doing well or not. She didn't really care about Dewey. She didn't. Another reason why she didn't really care about Dewey is because every time she got an opportunity to move to the big city and to take a job opportunity, just like she did in LA, just like she did in New York, she basically now granted, Dewey left her behind in Scream 5, or at least they explained it that way, that he left her, but it's not like she was rushing after him. She was where she wanted to be. So, As long as Gail is doing what she wants to do and is where she wants to be, she don't care about nobody but herself. It's just truth. Carrie saying we can't if he watches it. I might just mess around and save it for a stream here. I might. It'll be my first time watching, so maybe I'll just do that here and use that as like extra content just to hang out with you guys. Gina's saying, I don't think Gail will pass in 7, maybe 8, but I don't think she's a mastermind. Hey, there's a lot of people who don't, Gina, and hey, I get it if you don't think she's a mastermind. I understand. I do. It's like Neo seeing through the Matrix. I don't know what it is. I just see it. Ever since Val, you can blame Val for this shit. Blame Val. Because Val is the one who put me on to this idea of Gail possibly being a more suspect than a lot of people give her credit for, and possibly being a mastermind Ghostface. And when Val gave me her reasonings, and when I really went back and did my homework and really start studying certain things, that allowed me to go down this rabbit hole and be like, holy fucking shit, she's right. I mean, it's possible. So I definitely do think she could be a mastermind, Gina. I think the breadcrumbs have been laid since Scream 4. If they wanted to go in this direction, that's where this whole idea really, really starts, is in Scream 4. So, again, hey, she might not be a mastermind. You know, she may not. They might not go with that direction for the character. And I'm sure many fans don't want to see them go in that direction for the character. Me, on the other hand, I don't mind it so much. Why? Because it'd be a crazy, shocking reveal. If they executed it the way I believe they can execute it, based on what we've seen throughout the franchise, it's very, very relatable and reasonable as to why she would be revealed as a mastermind. I want us to get back to the shockingness, especially in regards to the reveals. I want that same feeling in regards to Ghostface being revealed that I had in Scream 96, that I had in Scream 2, that I had in Scream 3, that I had in Scream 4. I want that feeling to come back. In Scream 5 and 6, I didn't get that feeling at all. Especially in Scream 6, I knew who the killers were not even 10, 15 minutes into the movie. I want that shock element to return so badly. I'm desperate for it. I'm fiending for it. Like, ugh. Like, you know, I want it so bad. We need that shock element. We need to get back to what was so great about the original ending, and that was the surprise factor, right? Surprise me. Or as Craven would like to say when playing Tom Atkins, thrill me. That's what I want. I want to be thrilled. I'm tired of getting these Ghostface killers who are so predictable, that have like their motive is just lame too. Like there's nothing there that makes you feel something. If Gail Weathers were to be revealed as a mastermind Ghostface, that would make us feel something, because we have followed this character throughout the entirety of the franchise. That's a feeling right there. Like, you would feel her reveal. You'd feel it in your core, especially if you're a fan of her character. You'd feel that. You'd either feel a positive feeling, a bad feeling, or a little bit of both. And that's what I want. I want us to get back to having a feeling for these characters like, oh man, I never felt like that before. Like, damn, I like how they did that for this character. I like how they explained why they are a killer. I like how they explained or showed us what we basically didn't see coming. Nobody would see Gail coming. Nobody, baby. Nobody would see that shit coming with Gail being revealed as a mastermind Ghostface, because everybody expects them to do what they've always done with her character. I'm just on the opposite side. I think this is the coronation of sorts for one Gail Weathers. if they do it correctly. And I'm almost hoping that they go in this direction, especially, I'll say this, if you're not going to give me Stu Macher, if you're not going to give me Stu Macher back alive in the flesh as Ghostface, give me Gale Weathers. Give me Gale Weathers as the mastermind Ghostface. Why? Because she connects to the past. This all has to do with the past, right? Sydney, face your past. Hold on, let's pull it up right now. I ain't going to show that part, but that poster, what does it say on that poster when you pull it up in its full entirety? StreamYard won't let us see it. But on the top of her forehead, in the middle of her forehead, it says, face your past. There is no other character that's going to be in this movie that is directly tied to the original events other than Stu Macher and Gale Weathers. If you're not going to reveal that Stu is alive in this movie or even in Scream 8, give me Gale Weathers. Give me Gale Weathers. It would shock the shit out of everybody, especially if you tie it in the way I believe they can tie it in and make it make sense the way I believe they can make it make sense. Again, guys, I just want a shocking reveal that nobody would see coming. I want to look, when I'm in the theater, especially if they were to reveal that Gale is a mastermind, I want to look at everybody who's in attendance, and I want to see them like, because that's what the reaction will most likely be. Now, some might be like, oh, this is bullshit. It's really her. Some might not like it, and I understand that. Me, on the other hand, I swear to you, if they reveal Gale as the mastermind, especially if we do not get Stu Macher back alive, this will be me. Why? Because we have to do something different, and we have to do something that is going to be epic for this character, in my opinion, especially if we're going to eventually kill her off in this movie. I can't think of a better way for Gale to go out and get killed off than being revealed as Ghostface herself. That's just me, though. That's just how I feel about it. So we'll see. Cheetah, come on, bro. Don't jinx that. Cheetah saying the Cult of Thorn have moved to Scream. No Cult of Thorn. No Cult of Thorn for Scream. Hey, what's up, Davey Deathray, if you're still here? Thank you for joining the chat, man. I greatly appreciate it. That's awesome. I got to get a hold of you so we can link up for a stream, man. If anybody here is not subscribed to Davey Deathray, definitely go check Davey out. He's awesome. He has awesome content. And I want to say the same thing for Carrie Craves Cinema as well. If you guys are not subscribed to Carrie Craves Cinema, get your behinds over to her channel, shoot the like buttons on her videos, shoot the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you can get updated on all of her latest content. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Carrie is awesome, especially with her breakdowns and reviews that she does for whatever movie that she's talking about. And that's the beautiful thing about Carrie's channel, is that you get a little bit more variety because she doesn't just cover horror movies. She covers a plethora of movies. So definitely go give Davey and Carrie a follow if you haven't done so already. Bluck is saying that dropping on a knife just feels so cartoonish for me. At least in its setup. I don't mind it. I mean, I think it's all right. I'm not against it. I mean, everybody, different strokes for different folks. I can understand why it would be a little cartoonish to you, because especially when she's falling down and just Ghostface turns over and he's just laying there, but I fucks with it. I think it's reasonable enough to where I don't see it as being cartoonish, but I can understand where you would see it as being cartoonish. Yo, what's up, the fantastic Oracle? I almost said Oreo. I have a dog named Oreo, so please just don't. I have a dog named Oreo, and then we have a subscriber here named the Spicy Oreo. So it just kind of rolls off the tongue so smoothly. So sorry, Oracle. But the fantastic Oracle here in the chat, thank you so much, Oracle, for showing up. Saying, I just watched Scream 5 today, and I'm going to be making a live stream myself, maybe next weekend. I'm going to talk about the toxic fandom in the Scream community and what I think of it. Hey, that's awesome. Honestly, Oracle, send me a link of that on Instagram because I would be very, very interested to hear your opinion about that. That's awesome. That's what's up. Yeah, let me know about that. I'll check it out. That's as bad as F. Bruce Willis. Fuck Bruce Willis. Yeah, like, come on, man. I never understood why they put that line in Scream 4. I didn't understand that at all. Yes, isn't it, Carrie? Carrie's saying, Oracle, that's a great topic to discuss. Just be mindful of how you talk about it. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And guys, we have 50 people here watching the stream. I'm so appreciative of you guys. Now 52. If you haven't done so already, please shoot the like button as well as the hype button on this stream here. It definitely helps out with the YouTube algorithm. You guys are awesome. Thank you for showing up. I am going to wrap it up here in a few minutes, but I figured we'll go to the full 2.5 hour mark. So we got about 8-9 minutes left in the stream, and then we are going to wrap it up. So any questions, any theories, anything you guys have, hit me with it over the course of the next 9 to 10 minutes, and I'll make sure I can get to them. Saying if it's Stu, I can just imagine Stu being like, huh? Yeah, right? I can too. Yeah, I can too. Just like I can imagine Stu saying to Gail, what? in Scream 6. I can totally see that being Stu. Oracle saying, oh, I got ways to talking about it, and I know the difference between true Scream fans and the toxic Scream fans. Absolutely, man. Hey, do what you do. And again, send me that link because I'm just really fascinated with hearing your opinion on that. And speaking of Spicy Oreo is saying, what if the This Is Fun line is a scene after credits and a call to Sydney, and we hear Sydney go, hello, and Stu's voice goes, this is going to be fun, because everyone would think the AI angel is over. The AI angle is over. Yeah, I mean, I think it's possible that we could hear something pop up in an after credit scene. Maybe it's a phone call from Stu to Sydney. That's why I think that scene at Stu's house is going to be the cliffhanger ending, especially if they reveal different killers outside of Stu while going with this whole Stu Macher AI angle. I personally don't think it stops there. That's why I think this opening scene is going to be the cliffhanger ending that leads us into Scream 8, where Stu kills these kids off that are in the house, Michelle Randolph and Jimmy Tatro's character, Madison and Scott. And then we see him burning down his old residence, and then we see him walking away, and then that's when the camera cuts, and then we're getting to Scream 8 or whatever. Now, I could be wrong about that. We'll have to see. But I wouldn't be surprised if we got a post-credit scene of Stu calling Sydney or something of that nature, especially if they lean into the AI aspect of Stu, but if they don't completely confirm that he's dead, then I can definitely see us getting an after credit scene or a call from Stu to Sydney for sure. I am going to scroll up a little bit here more in the chat because I know I'm like super behind. So I do want to catch up before I end the stream and catch up with everybody who's commenting like a little bit more closer to the time. Carrie's saying she cared for Dewey, but didn't love him. That's a great point. Dewey finally left, and she's the one who gets mad. What the fuck? She left him so many times. Right. Exactly, Carrie. Like, yeah, exactly. Because, Gail can do whatever to do, but God forbid the do pull a Gale on Gale. God forbid he finally grows a set and says, you know what? Fuck you, chick. I'm tired of your shit. Like, God forbid he does that, you know. But you're spot on, Carrie, for sure. She did care for him, but she didn't love him. I genuinely believe that. She did not love Dewey. Nightmare Files 1 saying, look, everyone, don't be disappointed. Remember, this is Scream. The theories are always better than the movie. Very good point, Nightmare Files. That is a very good point that you are making. You know, the theories do always sound and always end up, for the most part, especially in regards to what we've gotten in with the last two films, with 5 and 6. Our theories that us content creators talk about here on YouTube, based on what we see and based on what we're breaking down, always ends up being better and sounding better than how the movie plays out. So, yes, thank you for that, Nightmare Files. You are absolutely 1,000% correcto on that one. Like, that's why I said earlier about tertiary options for who the killers could be. Trust me, I want it so bad to be Stu Macher. I don't want to think about nobody else being the main mastermind killer of this new story with Sidney Prescott and her daughter Tatum. That's what I want, 1,000%. But based on what they've done in the last two movies and based on what Nightmare Files said here in this comment, we have to be prepared for other tertiary options because they have been known to disappoint us in the past. So thank you for that comment, Nightmare Files. You are spot on. You know, saying Dewey was Gale's excuse to get close to the Ghostface situation all the time. I will say this. I can see to a degree, but not really though, you know, because think about it. Gale kind of took off on the whole Ghostface situation on her own by writing the book. And then basically helping make the movie. And also in the meantime, she ditched Dewey in that time frame when that happened, between the events in 96 and Scream 2 or whatnot. And she even kind of shitted on Dewey in her book. You know, basically talked about his inexperience and this and this and this and that, basically shitted on our boy's manhood. So that just comes to show that Gale wasn't really using Dewey to get close to the Ghostface situation and stuff. Like, I think especially in the first one, she was using him to a degree to get closer to the story and get closer to revealing who the real killers were, because she knew the real killers behind this new killing spree were actually the real killers behind Maureen Prescott's murder. But outside of that, I don't think she used Dewey to like get close or be close to the Ghostface situation at all times, because she already was basically there. You know what I mean? Once she did the book and did the movie. But I do see I have another super chat, and it's from, what do you know? You know, Talk Scream, with another $50 DKK super chat. Thank you so much, you know, again, for your continued support. Saying, still hoping for this line in Scream 7. Stu's mother. Oh my God. Just kidding, but I do hope the heavy breathing plays a significant part in the story. I wouldn't be against it. Especially if Stu is revealed alive, I wouldn't mind him having some type of like breathing mechanism that he needs, because he did get electrocuted and he did have a TV fall on his head. So, and he did get stabbed in the torso multiple times. So it wouldn't be shocking to know if he did have some type of complications. But at the same time, I do think it's more of an homage to Michael Myers than anything else. I want the deep breathing to have some meaning. I just have a feeling the only meaning that we're basically going to subtly get without actually hearing an explanation is that they went with the heavy breathing to mimic Michael Myers, especially if Stu is revealed alive, because basically they would be using Stu's character to mimic Michael Myers, because Michael Myers with Laurie Strode was the killer who always came back to haunt her. Stu, in Sidney's case, would be that one killer coming back to haunt Sidney. So, but hey, I mean, I kind of hope a little bit we get a little explanation for the heavy breathing as well. So we'll see. Bluck is saying, give me Angelina as the main Ghostface, if anything. If this was a couple years ago, I'd say yeah. I don't know about now. I don't know. I mean, I just feel like it's just like us diehards would know who she is and care, but would the casuals, like, I don't know, man. If she's with Stu, okay, maybe, but I don't know, man. I like Angelina and all, but I just think that would be so long, and like this is somebody from like the past, like Woodsboro. From what we know, Angelina ain't from Woodsboro. From what we know, so. Man, if this was a couple years ago, I'd be on board for it. But now I'm just like, I don't know. It's just like with Leslie Mocker. I hope they don't reveal Leslie Mocker alive. Alive. What the hell am I saying? She is alive. Duh. Or whatever. But I hope they don't reveal that she's the mastermind without Stu Mocker. Because I just don't feel like it makes sense for her to be the killer unless it's with him. Because so much time has passed. And I've said this before. If you were going to bring Leslie Mocker in as a killer, Scream 2 would have been the perfect movie to do that because she would have been working with Mrs. Loomis. So, I don't know. I mean, a couple years ago, I was on the Angelina train. Now, I mean, do I still think that her death is a bunch of Fugazi bullshit? Yes, I do. That was one of the weakest, if not the weakest death I've ever seen in the Scream franchise. But I just don't know. I don't know how her being revealed as the mastermind would fit in to her being from Woodsboro. Because, I mean, I just feel like they'd have to do too much tying in. But that's just me. Not necessarily, J-Rod. J-Rod asking, would Gail being a Ghostface in Scream 7 make watching Scream 1996 harder and all the other films? No, I don't think so. No, I don't. I do not think so at all. Because, I mean, even Gail in Scream 1996, you see her villainous ways. You see how she is. So I don't think so. I don't think it would make watching Scream 1996 all that hard because Gail wasn't established as a likable character to begin with. So that's just how I look at it. JR Real -ZT5WP. What's going on? Saying Gail Tatum and Stu. Hold up. I hope this is a theory. I don't think this is I don't think that's like a spoiler. I think that's like a theory. Yeah, that looks more like a theory because I can't see Tatum being the killer. I mean, I can, but I can't. So I don't know. Gina's saying, don't be pimping Oreo out. Ziggy says she's all his. That's fucking hilarious. That's funny. Bluck is saying, what happens if Chad becomes Ghostface? Is everyone screwed? Oh, man, I hope they don't do that with Chad's character. I don't see why they would need to do that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I personally wouldn't like it. I think he would obviously fuck a lot of people up because obviously he has a lot of trauma that he's been through, and I'm sure he has a lot of pent up rage he'd want to get out. I don't think they would. I don't think they would go that far with it. Bluck is saying the only relatable character in the Scream franchise was Joel. I disagree, but Joel is definitely a great character. I wish they would have brought him back. I know they were supposed to for Scream 6, but then things kind of got fucked up or whatever. So Would still like to see him make a comeback if it makes sense. Bluck is saying people are dead and we getting the fuck out of here. Go, go, go. Yeah, right? He still did come back, though. He just came back after the murders were all done. Spicy Oreo saying, if Stu's dead, I'm not going to let it ruin the movie for me. I refuse to. Yeah, see, that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like, I'm already expecting to be disappointed. I prepared myself to be disappointed and them not to reveal that Stu is alive as much as I want him to be. I'm preparing myself for that. So I'm not going to let that decision ruin the movie for me. However, how they execute the story and how they execute the killer reveals and who the killers are, if it's not up to par again with how I believe these killers should be portrayed in regards to making them more serious, making them more menacing, making them actually fucking feel like serial killers, then that will ruin the movie for me. I'm tired of getting these killers that are goofy as hell. I'm tired of these goofy ass killers. It's great for shits and giggles and all that, but I want us to get back to the killers that are intimidating. That's the beautiful thing about Stu's character. Yes, is he fun? Yes, is he thrilling? Yes, is he funny? Absolutely. But in the same token, he's also fucking terrifying because he's unpredictable. So we'll see. But I agree with you to a degree, Spicy Oreo. I'm not going to let Stu actually being dead ruin the movie for me. I'll be disappointed, but I'm still open-minded to the fact that this still could be a really good Scream movie, even if they don't do what I feel they should do. Nightmare File saying, I'd love to do a video with you. Hey, we might be able to, let's plan for a live stream or something. Hit me up on my Instagram. Let me know when you're free, and we'll work something out. Yes, I got that on video. Yep. Bluck is saying, I wonder if he knew how popular the character would become for leaving. I'm assuming you're talking about. Cotton, maybe? Because I know Liev regrets not staying on the Scream franchise. He regrets telling Wes to kill his character off. So maybe that's what you're talking about. Bluck is saying you find out Angelina was actually Christina and she just changed her name to Angelina as a stage name like Sydney's mom. Yeah, but that's my thing, Blucka. If they're not going to reveal, or I'll put it this way, if they're not going to have Samantha and Tara in this movie, I don't think there's any reason to reveal Christina at all. It would be a big waste of time, in my opinion. If Christina Carpenter is going to be revealed as Angelina or whoever she is, if she's going to be revealed alive, I would hope that Samantha and Tara are present for this reveal. Could they swerve us all and this cult of Ghostface is actually Christina and the Carpenter sisters? Sure. Is it very, very unlikely? Yeah. I don't know. I feel like without the sisters present, this character, Christina, is just, I don't even want to see her. Give me the sisters back, and then I can be comfortable with seeing Christina. Because we didn't even see her when the sisters were present. So I don't think it would really make much sense to bring her into a movie when the sisters aren't present. You know what I mean? Like, I think that would be some crazy shit. Now, the worst stage name's got to be Judy Jurgenstern. That's a hell of a fucking stage name. You should talk, Judy Jurgenstern. That is a hell of a name. Oh, he's talking about Joel. Got you. Hold on, let me go back up to that comment. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so you're basically saying Dwayne, you probably wonder if he knew how popular the character would become after he left. He probably didn't. I can guarantee you, Blucka, he probably had no idea that the Joel character would be such a liked and well-received character to the point people want to bring him back. So I don't think he did foresee that happening. I actually reached out on Instagram to Dwayne Martin a couple years ago to try to get him on here for an interview. I didn't get a response back. Maybe that's something I'll try again here in the future. But I would love to have him here on the channel and interview him and talk about the Joel character and see what he feels about the Scream fandom and the franchise and stuff like that. That's right, Carrie. Nothing is better than Judy Jurgenstern. It's not. That is the GOAT stage name. Fucking Carrie. Oh, Carrie. Oh, I love you, Carrie. Good Lord. That's fucking hilarious. I mean, Shannon saying to Blucka, Sam was the only one that was going to be Ghostface, not Tara. I think though, like especially now with what's happened, if you wanted to go in that angle, I think you could turn both of them into a killer, especially if Gail, Chad, and Mindy threw dirt on their name and basically made up lies about them. If Gail made a new book talking about the events in New York or whatever, like she did to Samantha in 5, I can see Tara going to the dark side with Sam. I mean, hell, at the end of Scream 6, when she stabs Ethan in the mouth, when she starts laughing and giggling, like, like she was relieved to stab this motherfucker. Like, so I think if they wanted to play into that with Tara being a ghost face in the right situation with Samantha, I think they could have done it. Fucking Carrie. Hey, I keeps it real. Yes, you do, friend. Yes, you do. Carrie also saying, "Oh my God, please tell Dwayne Martin he's my hero for the character Joel." I'm gonna try to reach out again, Carrie. I really would love to see if I hope he can respond this time, or I hope he does, because I've always wanted to get Dwayne here on the channel and just bust it up with him and talk about Scream 2, but also just other stuff that he's done. Like he was a big part of my childhood growing up, you know, in fucking Above the Rim, movies like that, and then seeing him in Scream 2, obviously. So I would love to interview him. Just gotta hope he'd be down for it, you know? Blucka saying she was low-key savage and on her way to becoming a ghost face. Yeah, I agree. Blucka saying she even gave him a one-liner, "You're gonna die a virgin." Right, yeah. Like that last scene with Tara was actually very, very good. And you could make the argument she was definitely getting that urge that Samantha had in regards to the killer instinct. So Carrie saying, "I will be Princess Consuela Banana Ham Hock. I need a friend named Crab Bag." That's fucking hilarious. Let me reread that. "I will be Princess Consuela Banana Ham Hock." Let me ask you this, Carrie. Is the Consuela basically a homage to Mark Consuelos? Let me know, please. Oh, okay. She's saying that was a Friends reference. Oh, okay. I never knew that. That's fucking hilarious. Oh man. Spicy Oreo saying, "Always thought Jenna Ortega would have been a great killer. I picked her and Wes as my killers in 5 when I did my predictions." Yeah, especially with what we've seen at the end of 6. I definitely agree with that. I think Jenna could have made an interesting killer as Tara, for sure. She definitely did seem to have that sneaky killer instinct brewing within her. So, yeah. And there was definitely, I know some people in Scream 5 thought that she basically set up her own attack and could have been revealed as Ghostface. So there's that right there, too. Blucka saying Scream 6 ruined the Chad kill, too. That would have probably been everyone's one or two top kill. I agree, because of the way it played out with them both, stabbing him at the same time, the way it was, and then doing a double knife swipe. That was a really cool scene. And I do think that they ruined his kill scene, because that should have been when he died, and that would have been a memorable death. Now, if you decide to kill him off, I don't think it's going to be as memorable. And another thing, too, is that we know for a fact that the Scream movies that came before Scream 5 and 6, the violence, like outside of Charlie Walker in Scream 4, the violence and the intensity with Ghostface in regards to how they kill wasn't as like violent and as straightforward as it was with Scream 5 and Scream 6. So it does make you wonder if Chad is going to die in this movie, if they're going to give us some bullshit, couple pokes here, couple pokes there, and then he drops and it's over and stuff. I'm hoping that's not the case, but I do think it is worth mentioning that they could do that, which I think would be a bunch of bullshit, because if you do something like that, you just basically wasted an even more memorable kill in Scream 6, like Blucka just said. All right, guys, we are about to wrap it up here for this episode of the Raw Footage Podcast. I greatly appreciate every single one of you guys who took the time out to hang out with me here in today's stream. This has been a blast talking about Scream 7. You know what? We're going to stick around a little bit longer. You know what? We're going to stick around a little bit longer, because I did have these trailers and stuff that I did want to like just breeze through and talk about real quick. So that's what we're going to do. Let me pull up the featurette. Let me pull up the Scream 7 featurette and just give you guys a quick rundown of what I feel is happening. And then we'll also talk about the Kalshi promotional clip for Scream 7, as well as I want to believe it's another TV spot. So give me 1 second. There it is. Boom. So right now I am going to pull up.
I was elated. I was really excited to be a part of the film again and to continue Sydney's journey.
Sydney Prescott has always been the heart and soul of Scream. And we get to see her in a way we haven't seen her before as a mother.
Can you knock? Ben, how you doing over there?
Hello.
She's created a family,
sorry,
has children, has found peace. And then, of course, chaos finds her.
Hello, Sydney. I've been planning this for a long time.
Sydney's been through hell and back. She's been attacked, and she's been pursued by a series of killers throughout her entire life. And how does that affect her mother and her child?
Me protecting her from this, I made her vulnerable to it.
And what would happen if Ghostface came knocking on her door today?
Your daughter is the same age you were when this all started.
If you hurt her.
Okay, so a couple quick things here. What I noticed in this featurette number 2. Obviously, the Ben and Tatum scene is obviously a callback to Sydney and Billy in Scream 96 when Billy sneaks through her bedroom window. I love the line of dialogue between Sydney and Ben where she's like, Ben, how you doing over there? And he's just like, hello. I feel like if you were once a young man who snuck into your girlfriend's house when you weren't supposed to, you will understand why that shit's funny. So anyway, there's also another moment here in the trailer, or in the featurette, that I wanted to talk about. Give me 1 second. You even see Sydney with the shit smirk on her face. I do love this shot here that we get of Sydney and Mark in the kitchen, kind of having a moment. There is also a scene where, they're obviously in bed together. So it's nice to see that we are going to get a little bit more Mark than I think we anticipated before and stuff, which is what I want. If his character is going to die, I want his character to be featured. Like, I want us to get to know him and actually like him. And he does seem like, even though he's not Kincaid, he does seem like he's a fucking cool dude. He just does. He just gives me this vibe that he's going to be okay and stuff. So let's move on here, because
Family has children, has found peace. And then, of course, chaos finds her.
Hello, Sydney.
Love that, Jamie.
I've been planning this for a long.
Okay, so this shot right here in particular, we know this is a shot that Sydney bursts in through the door. She bursts in through, pointing her gun both ways and stuff like that. Now, obviously, too, if you guys seen any of the more recent TV spot trailers, we know that inside this house, when Sydney is looking around, a TV comes on. A TV gets cut on. I think that this could be Stu on the TV talking to Sydney when she gets in this house. But the more important thing to pay attention to here, right, is that the doors to this house is already open, meaning the killer is already expecting Sydney to show up there. Why I think that is super, super important to mention is because, and I hope I still have it here, and I think I do, but I could be wrong. Okay, so you guys remember me talking about the AI version of Tatum, this shot here to the right that I spoke about the other day, right? And I said when I was here on the podcast with Destin that I felt that basically what we are going to be seeing, the reason why we see an AI version of Tatum in Scream 7 is because Ghostface is going to be sending Sydney an AI version video of Tatum in different locations and buildings to lead her on to believing that Tatum is in these buildings or in these places where she is not. Basically, Ghostface is using an AI version of Tatum in certain select locations that we see the actual real Tatum in the trailer. They're using the AI version of Tatum to trick Sydney into going to these places, kind of like a game of cat and mouse, so to speak. And I feel like with us seeing these doors already open, I feel like basically this is one of the locations where Ghostface might send Sydney a video showing that Tatum is here at this house, which is why Sydney goes there, only to be tricked and fooled yet again that she's not there, that this is just another ploy for Ghostface to keep Sydney on her toes and to keep this game of cat and mouse going. Which, if that's how they're going to use AI Tatum as a ploy to have Sydney running around all these different locations in Pine Grove to fuck with her, I'm okay with that. I think that's pretty cool. I think that's a cool way to use the AI feature in this movie. So that's what I think is going to be happening here with that scene and stuff. I think when she gets in, when the TV cuts on, it will be Stu talking to her, because we also know that in this particular scene in this house, this is where we see Sydney scream, "Where is my daughter?" or whatever, how she says it. So I definitely do think that Ghostface is going to be basically tricking Sydney to believe that Tatum is in places that she is not in, just to keep Sydney on her toes and to keep her running through Pine Grove looking like a fucking mad woman until we get to the reveal. Basically, we are going to be seeing a big game of cat and mouse being played between Ghostface and Sydney in regards to Tatum's whereabouts.
Time.
Sydney's been through hell and back. She's been attacked, and she's been pursued by a series of killers throughout her entire life. And how does that affect her mother and her child?
Me protecting her from this, I made her vulnerable to it.
And what would happen if Ghostface came knocking on her door today?
Your daughter is the same age you were when this all started.
Hold on, I think you get the shot of the TV.
All started.
Today.
To it.
And what would happen if Ghostface came knocking on her door today?
was the same age you were when this all started.
If you hurt her.
Okay, so that's about it there. But I did just want to point that out in regards to that particular scene when Sydney arrives at the house. And it is also interesting that Sydney kind of feels like she's responsible for Ghostface coming back and kind of trying to shelter Tatum from the past, because now she feels like she's made her vulnerable to it. I don't see it that way. I always see it like if somebody really wanted to come after Sydney and wear a Ghostface costume to do it, they would just do it anyway and target her and her daughter. So I think Sydney's being just a little too hard on herself when she says that. That's just me. Maybe I'm biased because, that's my girl. So that's just how I feel about that, though. And we also had released an Ice Nine Kills like promo video where Spencer Carter, this lead singer of Ice Nine Kills, gets a call from Ghostface and stuff like that, and they revealed that it's McKenna Grace who's featured in the video, and she's doing the Ghostface voice. She's on the Ghostface voice modulator. Now, this has led to some fans speculating, well, wait a minute. We just seen a featurette with what we assume to be her character hanging from the rafters, looking like she's dead, but is this a sign that she's actually going to be revealed as Ghostface? What I will say to you guys is this. I'm still 50-50 on McKenna Grace being killed off in this movie. The reason why I'm not 100% sold that her hanging up in the rafters in that first featurette that we got, the reason I'm not sold that is going to be her death scene is because she is going to be playing a actress of some sorts, right? She's going to be playing the fairy princess in a fairy princess play. And what do we know about theaters and theater plays and stuff like that? Depending on what they are making, depending on what the play is, or depending on just regardless, there could be prosthetics, there could be fake body parts, there could be anything that is not real on the set of this particular play or movie or whatever they're doing, right? So with that being said, that's why I'm not 100% sold that she's going to die. Because we basically, how can I say this? If Quinn Bailey can fake her death in a situation that seems very, very impossible to do in the way that they did it in Scream 6, it's not impossible to think that they could fake McKenna Grace's death as Hannah in Scream 7 when they have the resources and the setting to do it. The setting is the fact that they are literally in a theater. They are literally doing a play, meaning they are acting. So it would not be a surprise, it wouldn't be surprising to me if her quote-unquote death scene is a fake out and she is acting in the moment of being strung up there that high in the ceiling and on the ropes and all that shit. So will she most likely die? I think she will, but I do think we still have to keep the idea open that she might not die and she could be Ghostface and this could be a fake out. I can see why some people might look at this shot and say, yes, they're going to reveal her as a fake out and she could be Ghostface because of this whole Ice Nine video. I'm not going to go that deep, but I can understand why you would feel the way you feel if that is the reason why you feel this way about McKenna Grace and her character Hannah in Scream 7. It's definitely possible. They have the resources to do it. She's going to be playing a fairy princess, meaning she's an actress. They are going to be on a stage. They're going to be in a theater, meaning they can very easily make up fake prosthetics, fake body parts, and attach them to her and hide them underneath whatever she's wearing. And yeah, if Billy Loomis can sit there and hide blood packs underneath his shirt so Stu can stab him and create fake blood, which would later be found out to be corn syrup, then in a theater setting, when we are dealing with a character who is trying to be an actress, something like that, especially for a fake out, is definitely possible as well. And then I think we have one more, I think, TV spot trailer. Yeah, it's the one where we see Madison's character in the kitchen. That's right, of Stu's house. Give me 1 second. Video file. I think this is it. Yes.
Why are you calling me?
It's not Scott. You're going to die tonight.
Scary voice thing's kind of sexy, but you could work on it.
Okay, so obviously here this is a homage clearly to Casey Becker in Scream 1996. And I know a lot of fans are feeling like this is the opening scene, and I understand why. You know, it looks just like the original opening scene, you know, with Casey Becker's character. I still think they're trying to swerve us. I still think that this could be our cliffhanger ending to Scream 7. I think it's very easy to see this shot and say, oh, look, see, that is going to be the opening of the movie. And then turn around and find out it's not the opening of the movie. It's our cliffhanger ending that we're going to be getting. Or a cliffhanger post-credit scene that is going to be at Stu Macher's residence. Again, I could be flat out wrong. This could very well be the opening scene of Scream 7. And I could just be overlooking it, and I could just be wrong. I'm just not feeling that's the case. I'm feeling that this is still going to be the cliffhanger ending that we are going to see with Ghostface killing off Madison's character as well as Scott's character, torching the Macher residence to a crisp, and then them walking out of the front door away from the crime scene, fall into the Ghostface robe. The camera pans into it anyway, and then it cuts to the end credits roll, and that's going to signify that we are getting another killer who went unrevealed in Scream 8, and that we're still continuing on with this story that was started in Scream 7. So, but hey, I love the whole homage, you know, to Scream 96. I mean, I want to say I'm not, I guess, super like, oh my God about it, because we just seen that in Scream 5 with Tara's character, right? So it's not like it's like something that's like, oh my God, we never seen before. No, we have seen it before and stuff. I will also say, and I'll leave it on this note, that if that fucking scene turns out to be a part of a stab movie, and I'm talking about that scene as a whole with Stu's house burning down and everything else, like, let's say if the scene at Stu Macher's house isn't connected to Scream 7's movie itself, it's just a part of a stab movie, and it holds no weight as to what's going to be happening story-wise for Scream 7, I'm sorry. That's bullshit. And I will be very, very disappointed, because to me, doing that makes no sense. So we'll see how it all plays out. Haha, acres of movies. What's going on? Saying Wes Craven looks down at what he has created with pride. I agree, acres of movie. I agree. Saying, don't you dare close your eyes, just watch scary movies. I agree with that too. I agree full-heartedly. Yo, what's up, Horror? Glad to see you here. Unfortunately, I am about to wrap things up. You guys are just coming in towards the end. I did stay a little bit longer than what I was initially going to, but this is about to be the end of it. But Horror, keep an eye out for your Instagram messages, because I'm going to be getting a hold of you within the next couple days, and we're going to plan something for a live stream to talk about some Scream 7. I would love to have you here on the channel. Hashtag fake Tatum, by the way. Oh, and I see we have another super chat, I believe. Holy shit. You guys are crazy. You know, again, coming through with another 50 DKK super chat. Thank you so much again, you know. Saying, I don't know if you saw my DM earlier, but now we know that Mark is getting attacked in the attic during Act 3, because we see plastic in the house behind Sydney. Oh, so you think that whole shit is Act 3? Oh, interesting. Yeah, I did see it a little bit. I did see most of your stuff earlier, you know. I was basically gonna get a hold of you after I was done streaming and stuff. But that's interesting. Yeah, you did put that and piece that together rather nicely. I do think those scenes are definitely intertwined. I'm just actually a little bit more now shocked that you think it's going to be during Act 3. I thought it was going to maybe be a little bit more towards the beginning or the middle of the movie. That's interesting. We're definitely going to talk here in a little bit, buddy. Very, very interesting. Very, 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 very interesting. Blucka asking, what are your expectations for Scary Movie 6? I'm making a good comeback. Am I making a good comeback, or are they not revealing Stoner Ghostface? I see what you mean because of your picture. I think you're going to be making a great comeback. And the reason why I believe so is because the Wayans are back. And that's why I fell off with this franchise after part 2, because once the Wayans wasn't coming back, I was like, nah, it's not going to be the same. I already knew it wasn't going to be the same. And then what happened? It ended up becoming more PG-13-ish, and the movies just got worse and worse and worse. So now that we got the Wayans brothers back for Scary Movie 6, I think it's safe to say, Blucka, you're going to be making an awesome comeback. An awesome comeback indeed. Acres of Movies asking, what color you want the mask for Scream 8? It's interesting because with all the Cult of Ghostface talk, I was actually thinking, would they ever do a red Ghostface mask similar to what our good friend Killjoy Jake did in his Red Right Hand fan film video or fan film movie a couple of years ago, where he had 2 different Ghostface killers throughout his movie, with one of them wearing the red mask with the horns on it. Now, I'm not saying I want Scream 8 to show that same devil face Ghostface mask, but if we're talking about the mastermind of the Cult of Ghostface being implemented in Scream 7 or Scream 8, I wouldn't mind there being a red mask to signify that main leader and that they're the only one who wears that mask. I wouldn't mind that at all. Acres of Movies saying Wes Craven's son what is involved in some of the nightmare stuff, maybe bring him in. Yeah, I mean, if he wants to do it, I wouldn't see why not. We'll see. Acres also asking, Gary Barber calls you. He's like, I'm about to sell. I'm out. Who should he sell to? He should sell to a studio that wouldn't cause problems like he caused. Sell to a studio that doesn't care about political stuff to do business. You know what I mean? I'll put it that way. I'll preface it that way. Find a studio who's going to do business without letting politics or personal beliefs mess up that business. I'll leave it at that. And I am going to end this stream on this last super chat from Talk Scream, coming in with another 20 DKK super chat. Thank you again, man. You're fucking nuts, man. You're crazy. I appreciate you. Saying Act 3 because Sydney, look at Sydney's clothes. Okay, I'm going to take a look at that when I get back into Instagram and I go over your messages and stuff, because that's very, very interesting. Good stuff, man. Good detective work. Good detective work for sure. It's awesome. I lied. I'm going to read one more comment. From Acres of Movies saying, I hope everyone out there is okay. And if not, please do something to help yourself. Feel like that is a great way to end this episode of the podcast. True indeed, Acres. True indeed. I hope every single one of you guys out here is okay. And if not, definitely get some help. You know what I mean? Or talk to somebody, or better yet, come hang out here and enjoy some horror movie discussions with your boy Marcus here on our Shot 'em 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel, here on the Raw Footage podcast, a podcast dedicated to the Scream franchise, as you are all well aware and as you can see. So absolutely, Acres of Movies. But all right, ladies and gents, this was definitely a blast. You guys are all awesome. I have every single one of you guys who sent in a super chat. Let me just make sure I have every single one of you guys down correctly. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Yep, I got everybody. Okay. So what we're going to do next, before I end the stream, almost forgot, my apologies, is I'm going to put all these movies that Gina, Dom, Shannon, Oliver, and Paula paid super chats for, and we're going to spin the wheel and see what movie we're going to do a live watch party for first. Gina, actually, hers is a review, so that's a little bit different. But either way, we're going to see which one is going to win first. And then, like I said to you guys, your stuff stays on the wheel. We'll just basically be doing this every week, and we'll see where the wheel lands. And wherever the wheel lands, that's what we'll be covering, whatever you guys picked. So let me remove this stuff because I did do this the other day for Destin. Okay, so bear with me. So Shannon. No, I'll just put the movie in. That'll be better. Bad Seed. Live watch. Oliver saw X. Live watch. Gina and Dom. Okay, so like and whoever isn't still here who did actually have a movie to put on the wheel, if you're not here, it's okay. I'll just reach out to you on Instagram because the most of you I do have on Instagram anyway. So all right, yep. Creep set in London. Mars Attack Watch Party. All right, so got those. All right, so now I'm about to share the screen, and we are going to pull up the wheel and then see who wins for this week's live watch party. And then basically I'll get that set up and let you know what day we are going to be doing that. Let me remove this. Share the screen. All right, on the count of 3, I'm going to spin the wheel, and then we're going to see what it lands on. 1, 2, 3. Booyah. There you go, Shannon. Shannon, if you're still here, that's what we're going to be covering this week. Bad Seed live watch party. So yours hit first. So let me put that down on the list. Shannon, let me know if Wednesday evening works for you, Shannon. If you're still here, let me know if Wednesday evening would work for you so we can do Bad Seed live watch party. And then again, guys, so then what we're going to do is make this a thing. So every Saturday when I do an episode of the podcast, of the Raw Footage podcast, we'll just keep spinning the wheel so that whenever it lands on the next time, like I said, it's basically going to be a weekly thing. So that's just how we're going to handle this whole wheel situation. Lagging real bad here because of the wheel and stuff like that. Okay. So now that we got that, Shannon, if you're still here, let me know in the comment section. I don't think she is. So if anything, I'll just reach out to her when I'll reach out to her on Instagram. I got her. Sweet. Awesome. So yeah, I'm going to reach out to Shannon and see if Wednesday night is a go. If so, guys, stay tuned. Keep the notifications on. Wednesday night, we will be doing a live watch party for The Bad Seed, which was obviously Shannon's pick. I will also let you guys know tomorrow I am going to be back here on the Raw Footage podcast. I'm going to be revisiting Scream 6. We're going to go a couple hours talking about that and how Scream 6 could potentially, some things in Scream 6 could potentially be closed up in Scream 7 in regards to plot holes. So that should be an interesting conversation. I'm also doing another episode of the podcast Monday afternoon. So stay tuned for that. I haven't decided what topics I'm going to talk about yet. I might even do like a tier list or something like that just to switch things up. But Monday, I have another episode as well of the Raw Footage podcast coming you guys' way. Stay tuned for that. And then Monday night, I actually have a live watch party for Phantasm Part 2. This is something that I've been wanting to do for quite some time. And I'm starting to kind of want to get back into every Monday, maybe doing some watch parties every Monday. And if not every Monday, make this whole Will situation for Wednesdays our live watch party, like weekly type of thing. So definitely a lot of fun that we're going to be having a lot of fun here on the channel for sure, like we always do. But I'm trying to make it even more fun. I want to, change up some things. It's always good to be fresh. But all right, everybody, that is it for episode 5 of the Raw Footage podcast. I greatly appreciate every single one of you beautiful people who decided to come hang out with me for these 3 hours, 17 minutes, and 10 seconds. I will catch you guys tomorrow back here for Raw Footage podcast episode 6. I will also say, though, you will most likely catch me on Destination Station's channel later on, because I believe he is also going live for some Scream content, maybe some Scream talk, which I will most likely be a part of. So, guys, enjoy the rest of your night. Stay warm. I love you all. I'll talk to you guys later.
You are now watching I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel.
I shot him 6 times.